What's up, everyone? Welcome to the stream. Right. Very impromptu, very solo, and very random. I'm going to be learning about Bicep today. So I thought, since I'm going to be learning about that, I might as well learn it with you here, live. So what I'm going to be doing is going through the documentation, figure out what the hell Bicep is, why everyone is so keen about using it, because people like Jeff Holland said, man, I'm never using ARM templates ever again. Bicep is the way to go. And I want to see how Bicep works. Then I'm going to look into how I can add identity into this thing and maybe secure some of the ARM stuff using Azure Identity. So maybe we do a very basic deployment with Bicep, and then we can use that information to secure it, secure DevOps, right? And then see if we can add Key Vault in there and how it works. But first we need to go through the installation and make everything working. Oh my God, I put my chair down. Right, let me see. So I hope you're ready. It's gonna be a quick one today, or I hope it is. So I thought that I could use code spaces to run this one, but I'm figuring out now that if I use code spaces, then it might be a little bit tricky to do so. No, they are not. Yeah, Bicep. I don't know. Okay, close. So let's go and do this. Okay, so I already have a Bicep open here on my screen. It's the main repository, the code where everything should be. And instead of using code spaces, which I already have up and running, I might shut it down for now and then revert back into using my local machine so we can use service principals for it. Okay, so Bicep, it is a domain-specific language for deploying Azure resources declaratively. So we have ARM templates, we have Terraform, we have Pulumi, and now we have Bicep. Apparently Bicep translates directly into ARM templates, which means that it's more closely related to actual ARM rather than Terraform, because Terraform has an extension for Azure, so it's not always eye to eye. And I want to see how well this works. So let's see how to get started. Installing the tooling. Let's jump into this one. Set up your Bicep environment in Linux, Mac OS, and Windows. Install the installer. Do you not like it? Let's do PowerShell. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Let's open our terminal. Let me drag it over this side. Apparently, if I'm running at 920, the resolution is better. The last time I streamed, it was absolutely appalling and people could not see what I was doing. So I'm happy to see that my settings are working this time. Okay, let's go step by step. This is going to install our Bicep. Paste anyway. What's the worst that can happen? Apparently this sets up the variables, fetch the latest one. It's almost like a curl, isn't it? Okay. Maybe we should put them side by side, so it'll be easier to work with. Yeah, trying to do that. There you go. Run this. So this one is running, installing it. I don't know, I'd rather run this rather than the installer. Don't know what you guys feel. Seems that it's run. So current path, grab that information. Paste anyway. Success. And now apparently we can test that the Bicep CLI is installed. Bicep help. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, look at that. Bicep build arguments, takes a file, standard output, decompile, and Bicep options. Okay, that was the first step. We managed to install Bicep. Installing, there's a VS Code extension as well. Obviously we want that, so let's go and open our VS Code. VS Code, open this one. And let's see, I need a file. let's install the tooling first. So if we go into extensions and look for Bicep, install from there. Do you not like the fact that you don't have to restart Bicep or the VS Code extensions these days? I love it. Okay, so this one should provide with information. Now I need to go and create a new directory. Let's go back to our command line. cd projects, make dir. We'll go and create a Bicep directory. Demo test. Of course, I mistyped make dir here, and now cd Bicep and code. Code dot will open our directory, the current directory, which is great. So now we need to see what else do we need here. Let's put this down. Let me close the older VS Code version that we had here, and let's put this on the side. Let's close the welcome. Install, verify that it works. Open a file called main.bicep. Let's add a main.bicep. Okay. Oh, check this out. Down here, launching Bicep language service. I like it. So we can close this one. Next steps. Now that you've installed it, you can start a tutorial. Okay. Let's work with the tutorial. We've already installed the Bicep exception. So the Bicep extension for VS Code, we have the tooling, and we installed the CLI, which we know it works. In fact, we can go back and check it. We do CLS here, and then we do Bicep, I think it's help. We prove it works. Okay, good, 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 good. So this one is working. Drag in the wrong window. So now we can actually go and write our first Bicep file. Bicep build main Bicep. So let's open the terminal down here. Might be easier, new terminal. And then down here we can say Bicep build main.bicep. And that should you should get an output JSON in the same name of your current directory. Huh, we did. Nice. So Bicep, now we have this file which matches what we see in the documentation. That's the compiled Bicep into an ARM template, but it's empty because we don't have anything here. Add a resource. Next we want to add a resource to our Bicep file. A basic storage account. Okie dokie. Everybody needs a storage account, don't they? Okay, let's go back to our main Bicep and add this file here. So now we have, let's save this one thing. We need to save for IntelliSense to work. I saw some IntelliSense before, so IntelliSense, not intelligence, IntelliSense. Close and open the file again, maybe. Bicep. Yeah. We want to auto detect, but it doesn't seem to do the IntelliSense that it should be doing. I don't know why IntelliSense is not working. So let's see what this contains. Obviously, resource is STG, symbolic name. This is the identifier for referencing the resource throughout the Bicep file. Oh, STG sounds for storage. I don't like that name. Storage. My storage account. Okay, and that gives it a name. Remember, names for storage accounts need to be globally unique. So I'm going to use, what am I going to use? Let's say CM, I like that. Demo. Oh, does storage account allows you to do dashes? I think it does. Storage, Azure storage account, naming rules. Good to know. Right, storage account, naming must be 3 and 24 characters in length, contain names and lowercase numbers and lowercase letters only. So no dashes. So no dashes. CM demo 2021-02-24. That's unique enough. I mean, we can put the time there as well, but I guess we don't need that. East US, no. We're in the West, so let's go West US. Now, I'm a little bit disappointed that IntelliSense is not working. So should we close VS Code and open it again? I wonder if that's the case. Sometimes it gets mixed up like that. So let's open it again. Fingers crossed this time it will work. Oh, look at that. Launching Bicep language service. I wonder why I didn't launch it before. Did something happen? I don't know. Did it happen? Okay, we get resource, test. Oh, there you go. We are getting something now. We're getting some intelligence here. Domain services, advisor. I wonder if we can get, I don't know, web app. Oh, look at that. Hosting environments, worker role, server farms, which seem very similar to what Azure should be doing. Sites. So you need a server farm and you need a site for a web app. Let's do SQL. I don't know. What do you guys want to do? Do you want to do web apps? Do you want to do SQL? I know it's only 3 people here, so I'm not expecting a flood of opinions, but let me know in the comments if you have an opinion about what we should be creating. So we need a manage instance. Oh, okay. I think we need to go and look into the docs, but for now, let's stick with that. Let's do the storage first, get it working, and then we can go into some more advanced scenarios. So save this one. Remember, we need to run the. So if we go into terminal, I know there's a command shift something. Okay, so Bicep. Hey, Hector 8C web. Okay, we'll do web. Let's do storage first, because I think for storage we also need for web we also need to have storage, if I remember correctly. Bicep build main bicep. So now we should see the main.json updated with our storage account. Yeah, we'll do web, which is great. Let's go and see what else, because I think the next step is always to deploy something. But for now, we're good. That's add the resource. It describes the resources, the output. You can add parameters if you want to. So rather than the location, rather than have the location hard-coded in here, we can parameterize that if we want to. So let's add a parameter just for fun. So how do we do? It almost feels like coding, right? Infrastructure as code with Bicep. Param location. Oh, look at that. They did the exact same thing. Almost feels like a .NET-y. Like you say param, it defines the parameter. Look into here, function, schema, content, resources. Okay. So param location string West US. US. And then I wander down here. I guess we can reference the location. Param location. Storage location. Let's be more descriptive. Storage location. And then down here, I'm gonna say, is that how you do it? Storage location doesn't know where it is. It seems to identify that, but I want to make sure that we got it right. So down here, yeah, you just pass the location. So it's a variable that stores the information you need, and then down here we have the actual reference to it. Okay, perfect. And the name is up there. I wonder if they have to be exactly the same. Like if I see that they named the location for the location parameter, the variable is here, and for name is name. I wonder if this thing breaks. Let's find out. Let's compile and see what happens. So I added it as a parameter. Remember, ARM templates consist of parameters and resources, and usually we like to put the parameters on the parameters.json file, so they're not hard-coded into our ARM template. We'll see if that scenario is covered by Bicep as well. Okay, so here we have WestJS. We have probably everything we need. So that looks good. Okay, let's see. So this one, I did yeah, so down here the parameters. Okay, looks good. Variables and outputs. We don't need an output right now, at least for now. And then down here it says next step, deploying. Deploying a Bicep file. Compile, and then use, you can use PowerShell or the CLI. So Bicep does not allow you to deploy via the Bicep CLI. I think they're working on this right now. Cannot be directly deployed via, cannot yet be deployed. So Bicep files cannot be directly deployed. Compiled Bicep files can be deployed, okay? And then the file that you get at the back of that can be deployed via the Azure CLI or PowerShell, which is expected, I guess. So for now, what we need to do is Bicep build and then template file main.json resource group my.rg. Okay. Let's open the Azure CLI. Azure CLI. I'm just thinking AZ. Now, right now I think I'm signed into AZ account, so I think I'm signed in as myself. Home ID, yes. As you can see here, I'm signed as myself to the Microsoft tenant, which is dangerous. Hey, Code with Sean, how you doing, sir? Today we're learning about, I was going to say Pulumi. We're learning Bicep and how to run it. And I was just at the stage that I was about to deploy the storage account that we just created, if you haven't been following with us. So we used the Bicep to create a storage account, infrastructure as code. And then here we're getting the output, which is just a main.json file. And right now Bicep does not support deploying directly the Bicep file, and the Bicep CLI does not support deploying the Bicep file. So we take the artifact, which is a JSON file, and we have to use either PowerShell or the Azure CLI to deploy it. And I want to do that first, and once I manage that, then we can take it to the next level, which is like adding more resources. So yeah, so the output is in fact an ARM template. It compiles to ARM. You can see here it looks and feels very similar to an ARM template, but you are writing the whole thing in almost like a programming language that called Bicep. Feels a little bit like a C# is, because you have param storage, but down here you have also a mix of JSON and C#, and Bicep is intelligent enough to compile it. Now this is a very basic scenario so far, so I just want to see that it works end to end before we start adding more into the template. And the only thing that you need to run is Bicep build, and you point to the Bicep file, and it outputs it spits out the JSON file. At this point, we just need to grab. I was just explaining that deploying to Azure using the CLI for testing purposes is great. However, it's a script like as opposed to C# in Pulumi. Yeah, I just like. It seems like Pulumi has extensions that are built on top of the Pulumi base class or whatever it is. So you have different languages like TypeScript or C# or whatever. I think Bicep is optimized to work directly with ARM, and it's almost like TypeScript for JavaScript, right? It transpiles into ARM in the end. Yeah, so account usage. Obviously here we don't want to we don't want to run with my own account. I have very high privileges on my subscriptions, and that means I can seriously screw up stuff. However, I am using my internal subscription, which is okay. I can just play around here. That's my safe space for making and breaking things. But ideally, we want to be using an account that has specific permissions. So one way we can do that is to create a service principal account that has permissions to a resource group. And I can only deploy to that resource group with that service principal account. That's what you want to do. Or if you need to deploy resource groups, at least you can define the scope of that service principal. That means obviously they have to have the resource groups up front in your subscription, which is a little bit tricky, especially if your deployment script creates those resource groups. But for now, I'm thinking we can just create a resource group and start playing there and have that service principal locked into this environment. Let's see how we create one. So we're going to be using the Azure Cli today. Everything I'm showing to you, you can do via PowerShell as well if you want to. It's down to preference. And I like to double with both as well. Okay, so we have the account here. Let's go into AZ. Right, let's find the command first. So create service. I can even type create service principal for deployment with AZ CLI. Use and manage entity, sign in service principal, create a resource using a service principal. So we need to create it up here. AZ ADSP get and create. AD create for RBAC. Name, you can name it, and then you can pass the, we don't want a cert, so we don't want a certificate for now. We're just going to use a standard one. Seems very simple. We just need to copy this one. Oh yeah, I wanted to create it for a specific resource group. Or is that into the assignment of the contributor permissions? Okay, see down here. Add role assignment. We'll do the role assignment afterwards. That's the one, Sean. You remember correctly. So name CM deployment service principal deployment SP, too wordy. And there's also the AZADSP create for RBAC dash SDK auth, which is for certain scenarios when you want to get more information, like GitHub Actions expect you to provide that output. You'll notice here that it comes up with a nice password. I will be deleting this account later, so please don't get your self excited about it. But for now, I'm going to copy this information somewhere safe because we will need it, as I will need to sign in with it. So OneNote. No, I didn't want OneNote. I wanted Notepad. It's a force of habit to use OneNote. So I have that safe on the side. And now we need to assign the appropriate role assignment to this one. ID role assignment here. AZ role assignment create. We want it to provide a scope. AZ role assignment create role contributor. We want to make a contributor because we want to deploy. AZ role assignment create here. Scope and subscription. Yeah, OneNote is great, I know. Right, so AZ role assignment. There's not AZ new role assignment. Easy role assignment, create. Role. Dash role. Oh, dash role. OneNote is great, but if you bring it up on stream, everyone gets to be all up in your business with what your tabs are named. True. It's fine. Let me see. It's okay. As an unexpected error is saying, yeah, true. Sometimes people can see what you're doing with various OneNotes, and since we're part of a large org, we get to have quite a few OneNotes in our display, but I don't think I had anything that was supposed to be NDA. Now you got me all it's fine. Yeah. It's all the different projects I'm working on. Cool. Nothing NDA. Really doxing myself because the first one it wasn't fast enough. So if you want to see it again, that's your opportunity there. So for that was dash role, and it should be contributor. And then we need to add the assignee. Is assignee? It is assignee. You pass the SP name. Oh, nice. I don't have to pass the GUID. That's good. And so we have the assignee, and then we have the role. And then we need to provide the scope. Condition. No, I don't want the condition. I want the scope. And the scope is usually subscription, blah, 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 resource group, my group. And we do have a resource group. I don't have a resource group right now. So let's go and check my portal.azure.com. So I'm signing into my Azure portal, and then I'm going to create a resource group. I could have done the resource group from the command line, to be honest, but let's create one for the purpose of this one. Resource groups. Yeah, quite a few of them in there. Add. Make sure you select the right subscription, and that will be Bicep demo. West US, since we want to be in the same kind of location. My screen is flashing now and it's really annoying me. West US, there you go. Review and create. And, you know, if you go into properties, you can find the resource ID, so I don't have to go and figure out what it is. So role assignment will be dash scope, and paste that there. So ideally, we have everything we need to do the role assignment. That means that our service principal, cannot find service principal in graph database. See for CM deployment SP. If the assignee is an app ID, make sure your corresponding service principal is created with AZ-AD-SP create. Is that not what we created before? AZ-AD-SP create. Create for RBAC, name CM deployment. And it's an ID as well. Okay. Try this. Here's the RBAC, role, scopes, subscriptions. That's the previous command. Oh, it says unexpected, unrecognized argument. Okay, interesting. It's very interesting. Just give it the ID you already have. Yeah, I know. Oh, you mean the ID? Oh, gotcha. I think that's what I tried anyway, but so this will be this one. Nope. Oh, I mean for the role assignment. Well, we did assignee, right? What did it say here for the assignee? It said, can't find. You don't need to create another SP. No, I shouldn't need to create another SP. That's the, can't find the user service principal in the graph database for CM deployment SP. If the assignee is an app ID, make sure the corresponding service principal. Well, we did create a service principal, though, so that's the weird bit. We are creating a role assignment, not. Let me see. I have a blog post about that. Let me see what I screwed up here. See, I've done it before. It's a known problem. See, Matska's service principals. Oh, that's a super old one, by the way. ADS Arbach, yeah. Yeah, you know what? Rather than using the name, I need to use the ID here, I think. I think it needs the ID instead of the name. Yeah, show me the biceps, dude. Just hiding below my camera. They're not worth seeing. Not those biceps, Cecil. We're looking at the ARM bicep. So right now we just created a service principal account that has the right permissions to go and deploy our bicep artifact. And now that we know that we screwed up the command a little bit, we have the right scope and the right permission for our service principal. And it has contributor rights to go and create the appropriate resources inside that resource group only, nowhere else. So now we can actually put it to the test. So if we go back into our bicep instructions, it says bicep build main, which we did. We don't need to create a resource group down here, which is already there. And now we just need to deploy the thingy. Okay. So I'm going to copy this one and I'm going to come down here. I'm going to type that. The file is main.json, is the same, but the resource group is different. Remember, we named ours, can't remember what we named ours now. We named ours bicep demo. Aptly. Bicep demo. And that should go and deploy our storage account to Azure with our service principal. I want to cancel this one because I think I need to run this on the, let's see, let's cancel this one. AZ CLI, we need to sign in with that service principal account. Otherwise, it will be AZ account. So we do it in the terminal? Let's do it in the terminal. It's better to view there. So CLS. And let me hide that. Make it more visible. So here AZ CLI, sorry, AZ account show. We're still signed in as myself. So AZ account, sorry, AZ login. Is it does hates AZ account login service principal. See, AZ account login does service principal. It needs a URL. Oh, it's just the username. Okay, that's you. I think we can use the, now remember we put in a OneNote, a notepad. So I think we can just use the ID. I'll play it safe rather than use the name and say I can't find the name. There, and the password, -p. And the password is, let's dox ourselves, will be deleted. And then it says tenant. Do we need to pass the tenant? Let's pass the tenant, fine. Tenant and then we'll pass the tenant, which was the information that was pumped out when we created our service principal. Oh, there you go. We're signing in with the right thing now. Whoop, whoop. Right, let's go and copy our command. Are we in the right directory? Yes, we are. Let's do an ls. We have the main.json file there. So CLS this one. Let's clear it out. And now, last step in the process. AZ deployment bicep that. Running, it's running. Our bicep file is running. It's deploying. So this is the standard AZ deployment of an ARM template. We are not using anything spectacular. Hey, thanks for well, good man, Frank. We're learning Bicep today, and by that I don't mean these babies over here. I mean the Bicep that does the ARM compilation, so we can do infrastructure as code with Bicep. And we talked a little bit about best practices, which is don't use your main account, use a service principal. So we create a service principal account in Azure AD with a specific scope around just a specific resource group. And then lo and behold, I think we have our storage account just deployed to our location. So let's go and find out what happened there. So if we go to the portal and navigate to that overview, and then, oh, check this out, our storage account is here. Kaboom! Done and done. So locally redundant LRS, that's the one we defined, general purpose. Let's see, what do we have here? I think encryption is on by default with managed keys, which is nice. You know, all your data is encrypted when you move them to storage. And that's all we need. So now I asked earlier on, what would you like to build with Bicep? And somebody said web. Is that still the consensus? Do you guys want to see a web app deployed with Bicep? What do you want to see? We've done storage, but I wanted to see if we can add some Key Vault magic there to protect our sensitive information. Now, web apps are pretty okay. Let's see what the documentation has as next step. Deploy. So you've done the deployment. Now you're doing great here, apparently. Using expressions. I don't know what expressions are in Bicep. What are they? Any valid ARM template function is also a valid Bicep function. Oh, you can write code. Nice. So location is that. Output makes string to upper. Okay. So what do we do here? Resource group location, resource group dot location. Where does I get the resource group from? Let's get rid of the name parameter and use the unique string and resource group functions. Oh, so there's a resource group function. Okay. And we'll also use the resource group dot location. Okay, so these are our functions. They're built-in functions into Bicep that allow you to do things without you having to code them explicitly. So if you look at our main Bicep here, we have a name for a storage account. We have a location, which is here, but we do not, where's the resource group? Oh, the resource group is passed in the deployment. So what do we do here with Bicep? Let's see. What is Bicep doing here? Tell me, Bicep, location. So it's getting it from the resource group dot location. Oh, you know what? You pass the resource group in the AZ deployment, and then from there, the code is clever enough to grab the location. It calculates on the fly, so you don't have to hard code the location or pass it in because it gets almost inherited from the resource group that you're deploying to. That's nice. And they have the name. So that for the name of the storage account, they use a unique string. So that generates a unique name. Almost like Pulumi. You know, when you work with Pulumi, our friend Sean was on the stream a few weeks ago, and I was playing around with it. Unless you explicitly say what the name should be, Pulumi will go and create a uniqueness to whatever you say. So if you say, I want my storage account to be named Christos, because I'm self-centered, then it will do Christos and some random string to create this kind of randomness. That's nice. Okay, so we have that. There's string interpolation, storage account name variables. It's equivalent. Okay. So you can do string interpolation as well, which is cool. Which is, to be honest, this string interpolation is much nicer than having to do it in ARM. God, yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's exactly Sean. Makes the resource named XYZ plus random characters. Palumi. But I think this one is doing the same, I guess. Maybe it adds some kind of different uniqueness there. Maybe some GUID. So we can test it on the next one. Okay, so we have this one. So that's the account name with string interpolation there. Okay. Oh, it's nice. You can add prefixes for everything. So you can have one variable with a prefix, and then everything becomes a prefix with that if you want to keep it consistent. Ternary operations to do booleans and logical operations as well. Check this out. Inside the JSON file. That's a bit of a mix of code and JSON. Okay. Using symbolic resources. Like for now, I'm gonna skip this one because I don't want to use any functions. I just want to, we can go back and do it. I just want to go through the whole of Bicep and see if they touch on security at all and where Azure defaults into. Retrieving compile time properties, retrieving resource IDs, okay. So there's an option to do output like before. Unique string will create a random string, but always the same. Oh. I usually do resource group and location for uniqueness. But always the same? Are you saying that unique string will always return the same unique string for the same deployment? I don't know where the randomness is there. So if I were to run the same file over and over and over again, it will always create the same random string? Oh. Okay. Well, maybe we can test it. You know what? We're gonna use an output here because now I'm wondering what will happen. So let's go back to the previous step and let's do to storage account name unique. Let's see. Now you got me all curious. They have a var. Interesting. So for the var, I'm going to remove the name prefix. I don't want the name prefix. And I think if I do that, I don't need that. Unique string. Is that how unique string works? Let's see. Unique string up here. Unique, okay. Storage account. That's for prefixing. And is the uniqueness up here? No. Using Bicep function, so I think it was further down. Interpolation and unique string. Suffix, substring lower, unique string resource group ID 05. Oh wow. That is well, that's for you to create a suffix, random suffix for your deployments. Nice. Should we use what Frank put there? Why not? Thank you, Frank. Although I was curious to see what will the unique string be every time I run it. So, do I need to pass something in the unique string? What a unique string? Maybe I don't need to pass anything to unique string. What does it say? Oh, expects at least one argument, but got 0. So it needs to get something. This is what I use with ARM. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'm thinking here. What should we put? Resource group, which I think it's a function as well. And then .id. Ha. So it generates a unique string out of that. Okay. Doesn't give me much there. Is there go to definition? No, it doesn't have go to definition. So storage account name. And I'm not going to run, I'm just going to compile it. And I'm going to do an out just to see what the value will be like. Although if I do that, it expects the storage account to be passed in, isn't it? So what will, so okay, I'll put a GUID in there. I'll put a random GUID and see what happens. Okay. And then let's do the out and see what happens. Super curious. Output. Storage something. It's like a hash to always, okay. Right, so it hashes it. Okay, so output storage ID string equals storage account name. Sorry, I'm just learning as I go. Adding the location makes it unique when you have the same deployment in different data centers. That's a very good point. So the more entropy you have, the more randomness you have there, the more random the hash will be, and you don't have collisions. Which makes sense, right? Because every time you run the Bicep deployment, you don't want to generate new storage accounts. You want to do iterative deployments, because ARM allows you to do 3 types of deployments. You can do a what if, which runs a test to see what would happen if you were to run the deployment. Then you have the iterative one, or additive, where it would look at what you've added to your deployment and then will only add those. And then you have the complete, if I remember correctly, which will remove anything that is not included in the template and will add anything that you've just added the template. So if I were to run, let's say I had a web app and a storage account, and I took the storage account out and run the complete, it would wipe out the complete one. It would leave unaffected the web app. And the nice thing is that Bicep also supports what if, because it is a standard deployment, right? So let's compile this one. And I don't think it will output anything. Yeah, it does not put anything. But we can run it and see what happens, right? So if we run it, we should get a second storage account that will have a totally random name. Let's see, storage account name. Ah, yeah, see, I'm not using that. Storage account name. Yeah, it must be a globally unique name. That's very important. Hence the reason why Frank is saying. So here, no, name. And down here, I want to storage account name, unique string. Okay. Let's find out what happens. What's the worst that can happen, right? Just break stuff. It's free. AZ deployment group creates the file that we just compiled and running the deployment. So let's go into our storage account and see what comes out. Bicep demo. Might take a while for deployment to come through. Still running. Just thinking about it. I did so much ARM stuff, but I didn't touch Bicep yet. So you'll teach me. I don't think I'm teaching anything here, but thanks for joining me anyway. I'm learning with you guys. It's very new to me as well. So it's running now. Oh, there you go. We got something out. I forgot I should have run that in my... so there you go. It's not this one. Sorry. So down here, we have, if I refresh, oh, check this out. We got a random hash, obviously. So this is the one, this is what we got. Now the question is, so we have seen the output. Where does the output come? From here, because remember we had an output storage ID. Where is that storage ID? I can't see it anywhere. Storage output, output resources. There you go. That's the one. Okay. At the top. ID. Yeah, and I think this one matches. No. Oh no, that's the ID of the. That's the ID of the deployment. You know, the one that we're running just now. Properties, output resources. I think it's this one here, because this one has the name of the storage account, and which is, let's double check, FKE, which is FKE down here. But I would have expected it to be slightly, oh, there you go, outputs. There. And I think there's a way to grab that output and use it somewhere else. Further down into your deployment if you need to use that information for something else. Okay, so we have the deployment running using our service principles. So now it's all secure and only running against the specific resource group. Next, I want to, what do you want to do? Do you want to do web or should we do SQL? I usually do SQL because it takes a secret. So you need to have an admin username and password. And for that, I usually try to link Key Vault into this whole process. The question now would be, how is that even supported? Like, can we even support variables from Key Vault? Has anybody done this? Can we do, let's see, let's go into docs first and see what they say. So we've done this deployment. It'd be nice to have a table of docs. Where are the docs? Docs. Okay. Installing grammar. Oh, that's probably for grammar tutorials. CI/CD with Bicep. Who doesn't want to do Bicep? In Bicep, at the top of the file, you can use that to link storage account to link to other resources like VM boot dialog and what have you. Yeah. Oh, you mean the output, Sean? For the output, right? Okay. Tutorial. What's the tutorial like? Deploying, converting modules, symbolic resources, convert ARM template. I think you can go from ARM templates to Bicep. That's cool. And creating modules. So I suspect that the modules are things that you can, almost like have components that you can reuse across multiple deployments. And I suspect that you can reference them into your master deployment. So you can have, I think here what they have is a storage Bicep that is on its own, and then it gets pulled into the main one. Okay, so this is the storage one, prefix. So, okay, nested deployments, yes. How do you define them? So let's create a new Bicep main, okay. In my main Bicep, you add this to instantiate the module. So name. Oh, you just referenced a different file. Damn. Do you need to pass parameters in there? Params, name, prefix, contoso. And I suspect that the storage Bicep has default values for all the parameters. And no parameters are required to be declared in the module. They can still be optionally overridden, which in this case we've done with name prefix. So if we go back into our file, you'll notice that we do have a parameter at the very top. Sorry, I'm looking at them like, what the? Okay, so over here we have the storage location, which is a parameter. That can be overridden by the calling script. So if in our main we want to reference the Bicep component, then we can override that. Okay. So now it leaves me with the question, can I use Key Vault to secure my using if conditions? Okay, convert ARM templates. Yeah, I think that param is what will help you link resources. Yeah. Now I think the parameters are for overriding things when you link resources, which means that, think of that. You have let's think about it. We have a web and a storage component. Now I might have two different deployment files, one for dev and one for QA. So for dev, I can have the dev.bicep that calls into these components and overrides the parameters. So we can have different names. And then for production, I can have the prod.bicep that again uses these two components but overrides their parameters, and it makes it all more modular. Object-oriented development, baby. Okay, so the documentation is a little bit thin when it comes to security. Yeah, this is why you would use param. Yeah, exactly. So with the documentation being so thin, the next step is find someone else who's done it, because I'm pretty sure that I'm not the first one that has this problem. Bicep Key Vault variables. Oh, Key Vault secret with template. But this is not Bicep. Azure CLI, secret permissions. What is this one doing? Pass sensitive values, yes. Azure Key Vault set example. Azure Key Vault set policy. Okay, I don't want to set the policy. I want to use it in my ARM template. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so static IDs. Up. Okie dokie. Thank you, guys. Where's your sidekick? My sidekick is it's actually super late for him, and I'm just having fun here. Everybody's been raving about Bicep, so I thought I would give it a go today, BST guy. And I let JP go and have fun with his family. It should be a short stream today. I'm just, rather than doing it on my own in peace and quiet, I thought, why not involve the community and learn all together? So right now we have our Bicep template or Bicep file compiling down into ARM and deploying that to Azure with a service principal. That all works nicely. Now we want to add a SQL server and a SQL database to our Bicep deployment, and I want to securely deploy that. But for now, you know what? Let's start with the SQL stuff. Let's make it work, and then we can make it secure. Does that sound familiar to you? He wrote a blog post. Let's search for Justin Wu. I don't want to override that. We'll probably be coming back to Justin Wu. He's a fantastic person, by the way. If you don't follow him, you should. Justin Wu Bicep. Oh man, sometimes searching like that might not be a great idea. Justin Bieber Biceps. God, how does that relate to anything that I'm looking for? Justin Wu Bicep Azure. Okay, we're close. Key secret location, durable functions, Bicep sneak peek. He's got one blog post, Frank. One. I don't know if he's blogging somewhere else, so I'm just messing with you now. Oh, these are comments. Where are his blogs? So, is he blogging to the Microsoft Azure? Maybe he's, you know, I love these things, but sometimes Bicep Azure. Justin Wu, Project Bicep sneak peek. Bicep is an open source project. Software survey using Blazor. Part Bicep. First look. You know, we're gonna fall down into, oh, look at that, Justin. Build and linked Bicep codes within CI/CD pipelines, GitHub Actions, and ARM template toolkit. Man, that's good. Let's see if he's got something more basic. First look, event, first look. A lot of first looks on Bicep. I hope we don't stick at the self-promo here. How does that Pulumi have oh, I put Bicep there. That's why. I was going to say, like, why? How the hell Pulumi has anything to do with that? I forgot I mentioned Bicep. Okay. Let's see this one. Will that have anything with, is that all just a first look? Azure infrastructure, App Insights, plan, web, resources. Just looking at this, these are just ARM templates here. There's no Bicep. Okay. Surely someone has done it before. I mean, we could be the first ones, right? Why not? Let's go on Justin, see what he's got here for his... But Bicep is still early preview. I know, but if we want to encourage people to use it, then it might be nice to have some more completeness into the tool. Like he's using Pester to run his tests. ARM toolkit. ARM TTKD is running PowerShell. Okay. Oh wow, that's a lot of irrelevant stuff. And then he's got ARM there. Okay. Azure Bicep. Azure Key Vault and templates. Azure secret with template. Create an Azure Key Vault and Key Vault access policy. How to reference Key Vault secrets. Oh, there's a GitHub issue. Ah, there you go. We're getting somewhere. Ah, there's no way to reference Key Vault secrets in Bicep. You need to reference the Key Vault and secret in the parameters file. The right fix for here is for Key Vault to have a list secret post API that we can call from ARM templates. Let me know if that's enough. Okay, that's from September, by the way. Additional to this in question, how can I insert a secret from a resource key into Key Vault with Bicep? No, I don't think you can do that. Secrets can be created via ARM templates. I don't want to create, I want to reference, right? That's important. And sudo conversion to Bicep. Okay, name. What was the question? How to reference the Key Vault secrets? Yeah. If Alex said it, then it is true. Who's Alex? Alex Franco. Ah, there's no way. But that's from September, man. Things move on, you know. The right fix here is for Key Vault to have a list secret post API. Does that mean that we don't have a list secret post API? Well, we have a get. And why does it need to be a post? When you do a list, why would it need to be a post? Because you want the information to be secure in the body, I guess. That we can call from ARM templates. I mean, there is a way around it, right? There is a way around it. Because the way around this would be param here. We would make that a parameter. Let's go and create our Sql. Let's see how we create Sql. Let's create a Sql service with, so here is, no, that's not the right one. And I will show you how to reference the Key Vault secrets for now as a workaround. So this should never be in your code. So let me see here. Let me find how to reference. So that's not the right one. Let's go into Bicep. We go back into the docs and look at the references so we can see how we can create a SQL server. Does it have any examples? Any samples? Scripts. No. Docs, formula, source, samples. Samples anywhere? Samples anyone? Out of topic, but I really like your VS Code theme. What is it? Oh, my theme is... Really? Usually everybody goes for JP's theme. I'm using the bearded theme. So there's an extension called bearded theme. See? Relevance. And right now I'm using the black and amethyst type. So that's what my daughters chose for me. That makes sense for streaming as well. Okay, so we need to figure out how to create a SQL database using Bicep. Installing tooling Bicep Playground, decompiling, code extension. Where's the what if? I don't want what if. Where is the reference? Module, moving. Do we have a reference? Decompiling, like complete language spec. Is that the one? So does it mean I cannot have it? No, there's no requirement to have a beard in order to have the bearded theme. It was just a fun play of words. ARM template reference. Is that the... No, definitely not the one I'm looking for. Complete language spec. Resources. We're getting somewhere now. Resources. So we want That's not a complete list. Referencing existing resources, other examples, storage account. So how do we find the definition of what? Space and tabs are ignored, single line, literals, okay, multi-lines, examples, okay, going forward, objects, okay. Oh, that's not the, I need to get Christos to do a stream on customizing Windows terminal. Nah, mine is not anywhere nearly exciting. Let me see what I have. I have this one, Hack the Planet, and then I have my command prompt. Oh, I like this one. Ta-da! And then I have Azure Cloud Shell. Super boring. And then I have PowerShell Core. No. I have PowerShell, so I think it should be blue. Ha! That's a theme from obviously Matrix. Damn Matrix. That's shows your age. Tell me about it, Frank. Thank you. I am super old, man. 43. Might as well just call it a day and go into my pension anytime now. Right. So let's go back into our task at hand. I am old. I'm a late bloomer as well. I didn't start with properly messing around with computers until I was 19 or 20. Hey, you're as old as your heart feels is old. You know, if you feel like you're 18, you're 18. Right. Let's see limitations, goals. It would be nice to know, like the tutorials there. Playground. What does the playground do? Does it give me a predefined list of 46 going 62? Yeah. Sometimes my knees creak so much that I am like, yeah, I am old. Admin username, admin password, parameters that you need to pass in. What do they have here? They have a VM. They have diagnostics, NSG, network cards, IPs, NSGs. Bah. Sample template. Oh, look at that. Love it. Do you see this? Sql Database. Oh, check this out. That's amazing. So this one will actually, oh man, I love it. So it shows you, I think it takes the samples from GitHub, compiles them to Bicep, and then shows you the decompiled one. Or is it decompiled is Bicep and compiled is ARM? Yeah, that's it, right? Man, we got our answer. We got exactly what we need. So param administrator login password secure. Okay, but you're still passing it in, which is not a good idea. It's a no-no. Let's grab that one. Coffee time accelerates my ability to hold down a chair. Tell me about it. Man, that's good. Okay, so now that we have that, we can come here. Let's wipe our storage account. We don't need it. Now we want to create our SQL. Now, can you imagine if that was available inside VS Code, so I didn't have to compile and decompile? Yeah, man, there will be a summary on the blog post, absolutely. So here, but you know what really upsets me now? That I don't get IntelliCode or IntelliSense here. It's like, because I think when I was running inside my VS Code, the code space, I got some nice colorization on my thingy here. And even though my Bicep is running as the language, it recognizes that it's the configured language. It's not colorizing it, which it's a bit of a bummer. Because where is it? See, this one is all colorized. I wonder. Oh, you know what? I wonder it could be my theme. Yes. So let's change the theme. Let's go to some standard, boring prefix color theme. I wonder if that will solve the problem. It's like Solaris dark. Just do it. Oh, look at that! Ta-da! Maybe we need to speak to our friends on the bearded theme to fix it for us and add support for Bicep. Right? We have colorization. I totally didn't think that it was my theme, but thank you, Frank. That's absolutely right. So let's see what we have here. We have our server name. We can keep it there. I don't mind about that. We have the SQL database name, SampleDB, which is fine. Location, and then administrator login and administrator login password. You know what? I'm going to leave everything here as is, and then we're going to create a parameters file. Params file for, so that should be a new file, params.json. Now I've done a demo of this one. We need to do a sort of save things. Yeah, let's be inclusive. A theme for everyone. You know, for the extra hairy person like me. Let's go into my blog post because I've already done this. Or should I go to my Azure DevOps? Let's go to the Azure DevOps because here, dev. By the way, in Pulumi and in Terraform, you can reference these secrets directly because they are Key Vault providers. So the fact that you don't have them in Bicep, it's a little bit annoying. At the same time, I know that you can't do that anyway inside. Oh, can you? I think you can. Can you do inside? What is this? Which account is that? I don't even know. Member of so many teams. Yeah, so Terraform and Pulumi will allow you to do that, but I don't transpile down to ARM. I wonder if the scenario here is the fact that you can't have an ARM provider inside your ARM templates, and that's why it's not working or it's not supported. So here I have the very traditional ARM template. And let me make this bigger. Let me close this one down. Let me make this bigger. So you can see that I have my admin login and admin password, and there are parameters here, but I'm never passing them directly. So what I do is I have a parameters file. Bad Christos. So obviously I'm not using this file, I'm using this for demonstration. You should never have secrets inside your parameters file or any of your deployment scripts. You should have them in Key Vault. And I already have a Key Vault sitting nicely in my, which subscription is that? So that's, oh God, that's a different subscription. I need to go and create a new Key Vault now and add the appropriate permissions. But you know what? That's a great opportunity to show you how to do it end to end. So let's go and do that. So inside our subscription over here, I'm going to create a new Key Vault. Home. And so this one is that a CM internal? Oh, check this out. We might be able to pull it off. We might be able to pull it off. Okay. But it's in a different subscription, which is part of, I think it should work because it's the same Azure AD. You know what? Let's go and find out. So here I have my access policies. And this is where I say where and which accounts can have access to what. So technically, I should be able to add it here. Let's find out. Because I need to use the service principal I added to run my script. I want that service principal to be able to deploy and go and get the secrets from Key Vault. So now if I go and say add a new access policy, I want secrets. I want just to get and list. So just these two. This is what's needed. And then I want the principal. So here I can say CM deployment. Man, there's quite a few. Oh, yes. Yes, I have access to it. Select. That means that my scripts can run with that service principal, and that service principal will also have access to my secrets. So let's add it. Now, don't forget to press the save button, because I've done it before and it sucks, because if you don't press the save button, things will fail. And you're like, but I added that account, it should be there. Right, just to validate, my CM deployment service principal, which I use for deployments, is here, it has the right permissions. So now the last step I have to do is go and copy or reuse, right, this JSON file from here. So I can go here, grab that, copy that, and go back into our params.json and add it here. Now we need to make sure that these match with our main.json, sorry, the bicep. Administrator login, and administrator login password is in the administrator login password, so they match, which is great. So the last step is to compile the file, so that main.json will not have the storage account anymore. So let's go and do that. We compile it. Oh, no. Let me see. I need to change a few things here. Sorry, I was in too much of a hurry. So SambleDB location, we can leave it as that. Okay. I don't think I need to change anything here. We're good. I wonder if I need to change this one to secure. I'll leave it for now. If it fails, then I can go and change it. Okay. I think we're good to go. AZ account, this be just to, you know what? Let's do it in the command line, because we're already here. Why are you laughing, Code was on? It's through failure that we learn. I want to fail first, so we know where to go. Now, main.json gbicep demos, the file is there, but I need to pass the parameters. So the question is, do I need to pass the parameters? Here's like a parameters file somewhere. Like oh yeah, it should be AZ deployment group create F. Oh, this is a parameters, isn't it? Okay, didn't recognize that, which is great. AZ deployment group help me. Okay, create. Okay, so we'll do create and then help, because there's a way to pass the parameter in. Template file, interesting. That one is like F. Is that a super concise way of doing it? Template file. Oh, you can do F rather than saying template file. You can just put -f, and the parameters is P. It can be a supplied file with a path, a JSON string, or a key value pair. Now, since we already have the parameters file sitting somewhere, we just need to pass the file. Parameters may be supplied from a file using the path. Path? The path syntax? Haven't used the path syntax before, so I'll need to look that up. AZ CLI deployment path. AZ CLI deployment create parameters example. Use parameter file. There you go. Somebody else says it. Maybe template. Blah blah blah. Deployment template. Verify. Yeah. Use the parameters file. Okay. Where's the AZ group deployment? AZ group deployment create. Yes. Template file. And where's the parameters? Template file, parameters.json. Oh, it's at. So use the at to reference the parameters. You can see here. Let me make it bigger because you can't see it there. Duh. Okay, so if I am here, then you just need to reference the file by at. Didn't make any sense before, but it makes sense now. Okay, so let's go back into the terminal. and CLS and then ls. Okay, so now we want to do this, and then we want to pass p at params.json. It is the moment of truth, ladies and gentlemen. And it was at this point. Ah, what? Deployment create f parameters.json. What is it not like? The splitting operator cannot be used to reference variables in an expression. Isn't that what it said here? Oh, dash parameters. Oh, okay. Okay, I can use that one. I can be explicit. Dash parameters. No, doesn't like that. At params.json. Using a parameters from a local JSON file. Am I going crazy here? AZ group deployment create. Let's put them side by side. AZ deployment. Oh, AZ deployment group create. AZ group deployment and AZ deployment group must be the same, isn't it? AZ deployment. Maybe they're not the same. AZ deployment group. AZ deployment group. Parameters. I am telling you, they're exactly the same. So I don't know what it is talking about. AZ deployment group. And we're using AZ deployment group create. Resource group. Name. JSON and parameters. Why does it not like the parameters? What is the problem? Let's say params can only be used as an argument to command. To reference variables and expression, use parameters. No, I don't want to reference an expression. I want to deploy my file. So what is it? AZ deployment group create. Oh, maybe I can't use the file. I need to use something else. What is it? Name template file. And then parameters to JSON. I think the F is the same as the deployment file, isn't it? Oh, template file, sorry. Template file, and then parameters. Template file, parameters, example string. Template spec. No, we don't have a spec. Okay. Will this work? No, it doesn't like it. At cannot be used to reference variables in an expression. AZ deployment group create. Did I mistype something? F bicep G demo. I mean, this is the one that works by default. So now I need to figure out why it's not working with the parameters file. Parameters at params.json. We don't need these extra ones. I mean, literally it should be dash parameters and then at params.json. Is it the fact that it doesn't like the name? Do I need to escape it? Yes. No characters allowed after the here string before the end of the. Maybe I need to do this. Missing operator key after the hash literal. So definitely not that one. Let's go back to the docs because that's the source of truth. Parameters, params.json. Yeah, that's exactly the same. And it takes multiple parameters. Template file, Azure.json, AZ. Sorry, let's go on this one. AZ deployment. Oh, what's the difference between AZ group deployment and AZ deployment group? Does anybody know what the difference is? Because now I'm confused as hell. AZ group deployment. Yes, AZ deployment group. So a deployment or resource group. AZ deployment group. Deployment a resource group. And what's the other one? AZ group deployment. Manage Azure Resource Manager deployments. No, I'm going to try this one and see what happens. AZ group deployment. Which one am I using now? AZ deployment group. Okay. Well, mister, if you don't like it, I don't like you either. AZ deployment group. It will be AZ group deployment. AZ group deployment create, which we did before. And here we have the group, template file, and parameters. So they'll be here. Create template file, dust template file, main.json. Or is it because I didn't do this? Do that. I recognize token text there. Maybe that. What is not like? What is not like? Maybe didn't like this. Try this. AZ group deployment create name resource group template file. So what do we not have here? So this one does resource group and then parameters. Man, it's parameters. This command is implicitly deprecated because command group deployment is deprecated will be removed. Use deployment group. Ha! Now it tells us. Have I been mistyping parameters all this time? God, give me patience. So maybe we'll go back to this one. AZ deployment group. Params. So we said parameters. Maybe we can do even P. Maybe that was the problem. P, and then it was 1P there, and then we do at params dot. No, we don't even need that. It's dot dot, and then here. Ah, so close. Unable to parse. Typos. Yeah, fine. Yeah, everyone is afflicted by this. It says you cannot parse the parameter blah. So do we need to do this? No, it doesn't like that one. Params can only be used as an argument to command. To reference variables in an expression, use params. It can only be used to reference variables. I'm not using variables. So we definitely use the AZ deployment group. AZ group deployment is out. Fine. AZ deployment group. AZ deployment group. Template file. There. Parameters. We need to deploy from a file. So the template file parameters is here. Parameters at. Huh. I'm a little bit disappointed now. Yeah, Frank, you're not the only one. Let's see. We're so close now, this one. I'm pretty sure it's something silly I'm doing here. So let's clear this. So let's bring the command back up here. Let's do AZ deployment group create. Resource group is here with Bicep demo. Then we have the, we don't need the name. I'm looking at the wrong one. Or does it mean that the template file does not work with parameters? That would be super. I'm missing a name. Well, it would have complained about the fact that it needs a name. I think it automatically adds the name for us, but yeah, let's give it a go. Name, CN, deployment, 45, so. Yeah, because I don't want to be confused who else deployed to my resource. Yeah, it's the fact that it doesn't like that we need to pass a local template file, a local parameters file. Let's do parameters here, just us. Parameters, not mistype this time, parameters. Okay, I don't think I could find it because it needed to be .x dot, because we're in PowerShell. Unable to parse parameter params.json. I'm not missing a name, so the name is definitely not the issue. Show your param file. Yeah, I'll show you my param file. You show me your param file, I'll show you my param file. Params.json. Did I mistype it? No, it's params.json. So the name seems to be okay. So why is it not working? Isn't it fun? Isn't it fun? So, sorry, yeah, if you want to see something here, it's a standard. Did I not save it before? Am I a Muppet and I didn't save it? Is that it? Should I cry now? Ah! Oh, that was nice. I didn't save the file, so it was empty. Ah, thanks, Frank. That was a good look, man. Oh, come on. Now the question is it going to deploy using Key Vault, and is it going to fail anywhere in the security? It hasn't come back yet with an error, which means that it was able to resolve the Key Vault parameters, and I think it's running the deployment now. By the way, oh no, what? Oh, SQL Server already exists? Well, you know what? That's a great error message. We can definitely solve this one. 2020-0702? Wait, where's it coming from? So main, unique string, SQL resource group ID. You know what? I'm gonna make it super random now. You should always validate before deploying. Like what if? Run the what if. That's what if. Is that what you're saying? SQL. And some of the names have to come unique, not just your account. Yes, what if is stronger than validate. Okay. Let's do that. Best practices, people. Best practice, validate. So does it have anything here about, oh, there you go, validate and what if. So execute deployment what if operation at resource group scope. Examples. Okay. Where's the what if? What if over there. So do you guys prefer what if or validate? I mean, technically you should be validating stuff. You're absolutely right. I totally forgot about this. Do you prefer validate or what if? Yeah, who knows the difference? Pop quiz. Okay, let's see. Let's go back to our terminal. Did I save the file before? I hope I saved it. Yeah, I saved it. What if is new? So what if came from the PowerShell world. I wonder if it's too big now. Okay, so we need to Bicep build and Bicep. done, it will really go and check online if the resources exist and everything. Okay. We'll run the what if first, and then we'll do the what if. What was the command? So it's just what if. Okay. What if? Oh, unrecognized arguments. What if? What? Why? Why? Okay, is it in the wrong position? Oh, well, there's a quick catch. Okay. Easy deployment group. Oh, you know what? I don't think there's a create. There's just what if, isn't it? Ah, yeah. So you don't run create. I see. I see. So you run the what if. Yeah, so what if was not an argument of the create, and that's because it's a very different command. Whereas in PowerShell, you would say AZ deployment, go and do something, and then you would do what if at the end. So even though you have the, yeah, so it's a command instead of a check. Let's see. All green. Yeah, see, it even caught up the fact that we don't have the storage account there anymore. It just says, this is what you're going to be deploying, which is awesome. Check that out. I think it even checks that, you know, our Key Vault thing is working. You know what? We can quickly test that. Should we test that? What will happen if I just go and remove the permissions from here? Let's say check, save. Is it going to fail on its face? Let's save that. Save. Ah, it needs at least one. You know what? Let's give it a random backup. Okay. So right now, our service principal account will not have the permissions to go and retrieve the secrets. So that means that if I were to run what if, we should see an error message. Let's see if it does that. I'm curious if it checks the service principal access permissions to our Key Vault, because that would be a great thing. Somebody broke your access permissions to your CI/CD pipeline. I'm still trying to do stuff. Oh, what? That wasn't good. That wasn't good. So now I'm concerned. What does that mean? Maybe it doesn't check it. It only does it at runtime. So the question will be now, if I go back to my Key Vault, which is this one, just double check. AZ SB account show. It should say service principal at the bottom. What? AZ account, sorry, AZ account show. We don't need SP there. It's AZ account show. Yeah, so it knows that we're using a service principal, so that's right. So the question is like, why the what if worked, but like I wonder now if I run the deployment, will it fail? Should we run the deployment and see what happens? You know what? I'm gonna run it. If it doesn't fail, then I'm concerned that we're not using the actual parameters file. Well, they should, because it's referenced there. I'm expecting to see red for this one, by the way, just to make sure that access to Key Vault has been revoked and it should not be able to retrieve the parameters back. It's the waiting game of the deployment. Unfortunately, Sql takes a little bit longer to do. In the meantime, how's everyone been today? What have you guys been working on? Frank, are you involved in the new... Oh, there you go. What? No, that's a totally different error message, and it's just doesn't make any sense. Name already exists. The name CM SQL Server 2000 blah already exists. Why does it try to do that now? That's not right. Okay, so failed, name already exists. Where's that name coming from? Oh, SQL Server 2020 0702. Am I running the wrong thing? Let's go back in here. SQL Server, location, properties, server name. The server name is coming from here, which is super random. And server name and SQL DB. Like, this does not make any sense. Yes. What is the account? Account? There's a file called account? Show? What does that mean? I did not create this one. Where did that come from? Oh, I did, yeah, went around the command. So that's interesting now. Why is it finding that server name? Like, what is it trying to deploy? Because that name should be super unique. It's definitely not CM SQL Server 2020-0702. You think I got something wrong? SQL says unique string. Right, let me just do this. One string, SQL, like we did before, right? When we had the unique string, blah, blah, blah. Okay, server name down here. Let's save this one and deploy. So main, unique name should be here. So your, yeah, let's see, location, blah, blah, blah. Server name, location, let me say the login. Yeah, I mean, that looks pretty bog standard. Where's that come from? Okay, let's run it one more time. We're so close. Are you passing a value in your No, it's been a long day. It's params. God, thank you. And West Europe, that's even worse. Thank you. Thanks, Frank. Thank you, Frank. Now, why did the what if not catch that? See? That's weird. Okay, we got the bottom of it, and now hopefully we should deploy. Wait a minute, did we remove the permissions? Yes, we removed the permissions in Key Vault, right? So technically that should fail. Okay, I told you what it won't. It told you what it won't work. Okay. The what if will catch that. Yeah, I could have write the default value. You're absolutely right. So let's see what happens here. Man, that's always fun. Yeah, it's been an interesting day for sure. But no, it's fine. Thank you for helping out. I mean, I would probably have scratched my head for a little bit longer if you weren't around. So that's good. Crowdsourcing the solutions, I love it. Well, it's definitely going for a long time now, so I am interested to see, just to validate that this one only has one set of permissions here, that CM deployment, so it should fail. English is getting harder the longer the day goes. I am there with you. As a Greek person, I can verify that by the end of the day I'm spent. Wow, it's still going. So the question is, why is it still going? What's happening? Let's go and see if we have a deployment running here. Home, resource groups. what was my Bicep demo and deployments. What? It succeeded. That's not good. That's definitely not good. Oh no. How did it work? Bicep. Tags. I am surprised. Let's double check. Easy log. Did you save your delete? Which delete? Yeah, I did save the, you mean the change of permissions in the Key Vault? Here. No, that's not a key vault. Why do they have a key there? Just always throws me off. Yeah, so here in the access policies, I changed the CM deployment to only have backup permissions. So technically it should not have access to the Key Vault. In fact, you know what? We can delete the whole thing. Save. Yes. And refresh. And that's been updated now. So if I were to run it again, it should fail. If it doesn't fail, it means that it bypasses the whole thing. Did I copy the right parameters file? Am I actually using the Key Vault now? Just questioning myself. Yeah, I am using the Key Vault. And those, unless if the, yeah, they're not even populated. So you're logging in as that user. I am logged in as that user. Let me show you that. So we did a, where is it? So I did an AZ account show, and we are using the service principal here. That service principal should be the one that we created before. And if I bring here my app ID from the service principal that we created before, there it is. Same, 333, 339, whatever. So that is super weird. Unless it's running, I mean, it shouldn't. Where are we now? Did I run it again? I haven't run it again. So we deleted that service principal from Key Vault, no access, and our main Bicep is here. It does not have default values for these, for the administrator login and the password, and we have a parameter.json that should replace them on the fly. We should expect to see a failure if that account that is running the deployment does not have permissions. So just again to double check, AZ account show there. And now if I were to run the deployment create, we should see the right thing. We should see a failure at least. The fact that it's not failing just has me super worried now. Bicep. While this one is deploying and it should fail, let's look at Bicep parameters file. Oh, parameter to Bicep file contains the param declarations for all the input parameters for the module. Okay. I don't want modules though, I just want, do I need to have a parameters to Bicep? No, I think technically if I have my JSON file, we should be okay. Bicep parameters with main. Param declarations will be compiled into ARM template parameters. Okay. Secure parameters. Default values. So if we leave them empty, it should be, that was Chris's post. Yeah, that's right. So let me just go back to that. Yeah, but in the end, all the files get compiled into JSON. So technically, God, run again. That's not good. Secret name, Sql administrator login password. Secure string. Depends on ID. Okay. Try to access. Yeah, that's a good point. Easy vault list. Easy vault. Might be Key Vault, isn't it? Key Vault. Oh, there you go. Yeah, but listing is not the same as, yeah. So should it, I wonder if it's, you totally guessed it. It was a good guess. I wonder if it's because a contributor to something, it's, unknown. Where did this come from? So that's super weird now, because I would not expect it to work. So I can, oh, you know what? Azure Key Vault secret. Key Vault is a secret. Let's see if I can list them, because if I can list them, secret show or secret list. Please specify vault name. Okay, sure, that makes sense. Vault name. If your principal can create a resource in the RG, your deployment will work. Are you sure about that? Because being a contributor does not give you permissions to access secrets, though. Or technically that should be the case. It's almost like saying I can deploy a user group that does not have secret list permissions. See, I'm telling you, these accounts do not have access to list secrets, which is fine. And if I change that now, you know what? I can go and change it. So here, I can grab that and come here and add the access policy. Secrets. I will add it there. Yeah, that's the one. Select, add, save. Updating Key Vault, and then if I were to run the same command again, boom. So it works. Contributor can create, yes, but they should not have access to list the secrets. That's the problem. So that makes me wonder, why is that working? I mean, I can literally just go select all, unselect all, do backup, save, and go back the same command again, and it should fail again. Your deployment creates secret or read them. It reads them. It only reads them. So it needs to have permissions to do a get or a list. And I know that in other scenarios, like with Pulumi and Terraform and GitHub Actions, it will fail if I don't have the right permissions or access policy. Yeah, it is strange, right? That's what I'm saying. It's super weird. There. I mean, technically, once we, this has nothing to do with Bicep now. Once we get the ARM template in place, then I should be able to run the deployment. So even the fact that we can do this and deploy fine, it's just super weird. Bicep demo params.json. my only suspicion is unless it so here we have the main.json, and I wonder if this one gets randomly populated. But it shouldn't be, because it's empty. You should complain about it, right? If there's no default value, you should complain about the fact that I wouldn't be in the shoes of someone working. I don't know, it could be just me doing something weird now. Right, I don't know why it's so here. I mean, they're not populated by default. That means that it shouldn't really run. It should be Can I make it? Can I make it required? Just joking. Can we change it to required? ARM template. ARM template parameters required. Wonder if I make it required, so we'll just throw an error message. Make template reusable. Clean up issues. Where is that template? Variables, outputs, tables. Parameter file. Default, max. Let's see what they say here. Okay. Doesn't say required anywhere. Add the parameters file. You don't have to provide a value for every parameter. If an unspecified parameter has a default value, it will be used for that. If a parameter does not have a default value and it isn't specified in the parameter file, you're prompted to provide a value during deployment. Okay. Now in ARM, yes, but you know, this now is ARM. If you're looking for ARM tutorials, Seamless plugin. Nice, I like it. So my fear now is that it uses the literal values of the so Azure Cli deployment key vault parameters. Key vault secrets with templates. Okay. Azure Key Vault update. Azure blah blah. Using reference secrets with statics. Okay, static. Is that the one that we're using now? Okay, there you go. Admin password reference key vault ID secret name. Okay, that's what we have. So if you need to use a version of the secret, okay, we don't need a version, which is good. Deploy the template. Template URI. And then parameters. Reference secrets with dynamic IDs. No, we don't want dynamic IDs. We're good. Default value, metadata. Contains the key vault. I mean, technically, it doesn't seem that we're doing something wrong here. What I'm saying is that since we have the secrets in the template, admin login, admin password, and this one is coming from our key vault, it should just be the case of running Azure Cli group create, deployment group create. What I'm looking for is why the deployment is working. Like, I wonder if there was a different kind of CLI command. Like, I know in PowerShell it fails. If you try to run it with PowerShell, it should fail. You know what? Let's run it with PowerShell. And new Azure deployment. There you go. I'm going to do that. So I want to see. My fear is that rather than resolving the parameters, it actually copies them across. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I don't know why it's working. It shouldn't work. The fact that can't show. Sorry, no. List. So can I list it now? No, I can't list it now. So if I were to use paste anyway, resource group name. Resource group name, what is it? Our resource group name could be my session, like sign out and sign in again. Oh, that's a good point. Okay, as a logout. Although removing the permissions from Key Vault should not have anything to do with, but you know what? Let's try it. Nothing to lose. It's not in your definition. What do you mean? Oh, you mean I haven't done anything wrong in my definition? Okay. No, I didn't want to do that. Back. I need to log in with my service principal. Whoa, yes. Is it login? Is it service principal? Is it login, service principal? I'm gonna grab it. I'll use the ID because the last time that we used the name, it didn't like it. I'll use my GUID. Down here, and then U for, is it P for password? P, that's P. P. I like how I'm hiding the file and then I've pasted the secret like a million times. Service principal. Oh yeah, I need to pass the U for user. Ah, tenants, fine, tenants. Why do you have to be so specific, Azure AD? Space here, and that should be all we need. So now we still know that we don't have permissions. Okay, we're signed in. So if I were to type AZ account, secret, blah, say you don't have the right permissions. Okay, so let's run the deployment again and see what happens. Fingers crossed. We need an emote for fingers crossed. So it's running, it's thinking about it. If it runs, I'm giving up. I'm giving up and I'm going to come fresh tomorrow morning and fix it. But we're so close. You know, do you feel it when you're so close in doing something and then like, I need 5 more minutes. So we're in the Bicep demo and if we go deployments. Oh, 3 seconds ago. Oh no, like run for 3 seconds. Is that the one that, hey, you know what? No, that's 5:37. Why did it fail? 4 seconds. Sounds like this is a morning stream, sorry. God, deployed again. No, I'm getting upset now. How is it deploying? How the hell does it deploy? So oh, you think so? Let's see. Okay, let's go and wipe out the resources then. So you think it's been failing all along and we just, oh God. No. I want to delete these two. Yes. So are you telling me that all along it was right and I just made the mistake of thinking that it was not working? It's thinking about it, it's deleting. Does it take equally as much time to delete as it takes to run, to deploy? Okay, it's gone. Let's see what happens now. Remember, we should expect a failure here because our service principal does not have permissions to access the Key Vault. And up until this point, I totally forgot that if it's already there, it will not try to deploy it again. Just an inch. Yeah, that's the right one. That's how you write it, inch. Oh, just a hinge. Just hinge? Is that what you said? I had a hinge. Now, can you imagine if it deploys regardless and they're like, boo. I mean, if it deploys regardless, then there's something seriously wrong with my hands. Yeah, it's been a long day. It is a hands. Thank you, Code. Thank you, Sean. Code with Sean. Oh, what? 1 hour ago? Did I get a call? Yeah, I did get a call about an hour ago. I have no idea who it was. You know what? It's taking a long time. So I think it's going to deploy. If it passed, I need to report it. Well, let me see if I've done something stupid on my end, which I don't think I've done something stupid since I've been using ARM and Key Vault, and tomorrow will be a big, big day. Yes, it will be a big day. Technically, it shouldn't have passed. Okay, does it take... How does it even work? Like, it doesn't make any sense. If that account does not have any permissions whatsoever to Key Vault, then why is it even working? Well, we might have uncovered a bug somewhere, or I might be doing something wrong, but this one seems to be running. But yeah, first run, like, hey, we made good progress. We learned how Bicep is working, but I was really hoping to secure everything and have everything end-to-end working with Key Vault as well. Oh, what did you learn this morning? What were you guys working on? Frank? Yeah, I should also be justified for allowing it to go through the filters. Is it taking longer, or is it my idea here? Let's see. Deployments. Deploying. Why are you deploying? Actual SQL servers. It's definitely deploying, I'll tell you that. So that is disappointing. Unless it tries to access Key Vault and times out. I mean, it's going to be a very quiet, silent stream. Go ahead and mute me. I challenge you. No, it wasn't challenge. You know what? It might time out this time. Almost feels like this one is taking a lot longer. This one is taking a lot longer, and I think it's going to time out in the end. Although I would have hoped that it came back faster than this to say, oh, I don't have access. I was trying to use PowerShell to get Logic App code. Like, you mean the Logic App JSON data behind the scenes? You know what, guys? I think this one's going to fail with a timeout. It will say, I was unable to access my resources. Yeah, you know what? I don't see this succeeding, which is cool. The idea is to have the Azure function to back up the JSON inside the Logic App. Yeah, so you're using PowerShell for that? Why just .NET? I mean, PowerShell is .NET. So you're running, you're authenticating against the resource manager from your function, hopefully using some service principal. You get the token and then you use the Logic App API to go and grab the JSON. Did that work? Did I get it right? Is that what you're trying to do? You know, I've got enough points to mute myself as well. How about that? 39,000. Not there yet. Okay. Did I point you the right direction? What is the deployment timeout? Is it 10 minutes? You can't get the damn code. I mean, I can probably see how that is doable via... No, so the question now is it capacity that is stopping us from deploying the code? Or is it the fact that we don't have permissions to Key Vault that is stopping us? It took me 5 minutes in the Azure Cli. Oh, so you can use it in the Azure, you can get in the Azure Cli, but you can't get it through the the Logic App API. 2 hours in PowerShell and it's not working. Oh, 2 hours. But you get there. You get there. Don't worry. It's finding what's not working. Is that the... Are you doing REST calls to your resource manager? Yeah. So it's not capacity. It's definitely something blocked here because we know that it's not working, but usually get an error message. It doesn't go forever. I was using Azure PowerShell. I'll do something else. You know, C# definitely helps. I've done it with C# before. I was automating a JWT validation policy for API management, and not in front of an audience. Yeah, I mean, I thought I'm gonna play with Bicep today. I might as well do it. I would still be doing it exactly the same way, probably with a few more delays if it wasn't for you guys. So I appreciate the help. It's just, you know what? I think that now that we move the permissions, it's just going to time out and fail. So one way to figure out if that's the case, we know that's not working now, right? So let's cancel this batch job. See what's gonna happen here. Is it gonna crap out? Says deployment in process. Somebody got upset that I stopped the deployment. I'm gonna go back into my Key Vault. I'm going to add the permissions in the access policy. Add access policy, secrets. I want get and list. I don't want keys, so thank you. I need secrets. It's like, okay. Here, and service principal was CM deployment SP. Uh-oh, that's the one, 3.3, whatever. Select, add, save. Why does it have 3 permissions now? Oh, backup. Okay, 2 permissions. And now I'm going to sign out and sign in again. Hold on, I'm curious what happened to my deployment here. Oh, JP is late. Hey JP, it's fine, man. What's not working? I think we figured it out. We had a stale session, so my service principal was able to still deploy to Azure, even though so in here, in my params.json, I'm referencing Key Vault. So technically, when I remove the permissions from Key Vault, the service principal should not be able to access it. Surprisingly enough, though, it was overriding and it was able to do it. So, like, it was still able to deploy, which was super weird. So what we decided to do is remove the permissions, log out from the terminal. So I signed out with that service principal, signed in again. And then I thought that was because of the ARM permissions. Well, it's a contributor, right? Do you think that the contributor should have access to list and get? If I remove right, so if I remove, it's still going, it's still thinking it's going, okay. Oh shit, it still created the once you Key Vault permissions to ARM. Well, you know what? Guess this old deployment that we kicked off and I killed from the command line is still executed. Has the allow ARM permissions box checked. Yeah, man. I mean, the deployment works fine. The thing is that it should not allow the service principal to list or get secrets unless it had the right the right policy. So if I go back to so this is my Key Vault. And this is my access policy here. So I had, Azure Resource Manager for deployment. That's working fine. Yeah, stopping the C alignment, stop listening, not executing. Yeah. So here, that CM deployment is the one that we're using right now to run our scripts in the command line. And I removed the permissions and I was expecting the deployment to fail. However, it still succeeds. And that just drives me bonkers now. It's crazy. So at some point we thought, you know what, it might be a stale session. Because ARM is getting the secret. Ooh. It is? I didn't think that's the way it works. So as long as you have that should work. You mean if I remove this one, it will stop working? So I remove that one. Will I? So ARM is doing the access. So how can we say only this service principal can deploy this ARM template then? Can the service principal access the secret if I don't have the this one there? So that's the question. Huh. Because I was always under the assumption that is driven by the SP access to subscription. Yeah, so who can submit a deployment? So the service principal has, so ARM is executing the template, but I thought it was running under the actual context of that service principal. And that service principal has contributor rights to the Key Vault. But ARM is run by the context of the service principal, right? Also, you mean if ARM has permissions to access the Key Vault, then no matter what permissions the service principal has, it will still work? I don't think that's the case. Because, let's see, AZ Azure. Is that it? Just that? AZ Azure Dev. dev.azure.com. Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought, that the ARM deployment is using the service principal to access the Key Vault on your behalf. So this one is the demo that we ran before. So let's come here. Okay, so this one is deploying the exact same thing that we have in our Bicep library. So if I go into my code, my files, we're using the parameters.key vault here. And if I go into my connections, my service principal, service connections, okay, CM internal, blah, blah, blah. Now if I go back into my Key Vault and I remove my, where is my CM internal? Manage service principal. I mean, we can easily validate that if the It only needs an SP or login. It'll never give submit or execute permissions to the SP. Okay. So here it's using this application ID. Yeah, display name UG demo. Okay, good. So here now, if I go and screw up my my permissions for this one, if only it would show me. And let's change that to be okay. Backup. I'll save this, and now if I run my deployment, go away. If I go back into my pipelines, and if I were to run this one should fail gloriously because the service principal does not have permissions to see the key vault. Now, if that works, I'm just gonna wrap it up and go and lie in my bed and cry. Actually, it seems to be deploying. Deployment name is blah. Wow. Poppers duplicate. Right, but the key reference is what it changes. I mean, it uses the exact same key vault, so. Oh, you mean rather than, yeah, but I thought that the ARM deployment is running under the context of that specific user account that is executing it. So what drives the permissions of that specific ARM template or ARM deployment? Because ARM needs to reference the key vault, not the person submitting the template. I don't think it runs under the context. Okay, so how do you make sure that if I reference your key vault and I run it, it's not gonna work? It's who can submit this. This deployed now. I'm pissed off. As the user who's deploying the virtual machine, if you're not the owner or the contributor to the Key Vault, the owner or the contributor must grant you access to the Microsoft Key Vault action permissions for the Key Vault. So because I have permissions, like because I gave the Key Vault contributor role, I gave the service principal contributor role. Does that mean that it has access to all my key vaults? That is annoying. Like that. Yeah, it's a contributor to the sub. No, actually, no, it's a contributor to the resource group. It is a contributor to the resource group. That's the permission it has. We reduce the scope to a resource group. So does it show the scope? It doesn't show the scope here, unfortunately, when we created that. Is it AZ account? So we have a winner. It's a contributor to the resource group, but the Key Vault is in a different resource group. Are you muting yourself? No, it's not a contributor to the Key Vault. It's only a contributor to the resource group. Yeah, I know. That's why it's super weird. It is not a contributor to the sub. It is as AZ account, so AZAD SP. Oh, was it AZ role assignment? Was it? I am, yes, I am, but I'm not running as myself. I'm not running this script as myself though, right? Easy role. Easy role assignment. Does that help? Easy role. Let me get JP wants to jump on the stream now. I am telling you. Assignment. Can't even type. List. Oh, yeah, okay. So now I'm checking my current one. So my role, oh my God, that's a lot of role assignments there. Principal ID. Help. Does help. Hey friends, welcome to the stream. For the new ones here, we're just working on Bicep and Azure PowerShell, and right now we're trying to work out why the hell we are allowed to deploy the specific ARM template from Bicep, considering that the service principal does not have permissions to get any keys from Key Vault. We're securing our parameters with Key Vault, and we're just trying to hash it out. Why is it working? So Assignee, okay. Let me get the ID. Principal, role definition. This is roles, scope. Did we give it the whole freaking subscription scope? Yeah. So it does not have a scope just to the resource group. Did we not just give it the resource group? I thought that's what we did when we created it. Time to remove it. Yeah, I thought I did on the specific resource group, not the whole thing. Role assignment, assignee. So the SP is a sub. Yeah, you know what? I thought I did on the resource group, not the whole thing. Yeah, I mean, the question was, I went into my resource group. I was here, and I went, okay, we are at the demo Bicep, and I was like, yeah, let's lock it down. So I went to properties, and I got the resource ID, which was here, and then that's the one I assigned. So it failed earlier than right. Okay, so if we, no, the deployment should have worked, but the fact that I did not have permissions to, so let's remove the assignment then. Role assignment, remove, is it remove, delete, what is it? Role assignment. So you submit deployment to ARM for resource group, which requires a set of permissions on the resources. Yeah, the resource group. Remove, is it delete? It could be delete. the client with object ID blah does not have. Yeah, obviously I'm trying to remove my permissions with myself. The secret reference to Key Vault requires the Key Vault deploy action permission to be set. So what you're saying is that if my service principal is a contributor to the whole subscription, it will have access to the Key Vault, even though it does not have a specific policy to that. And then if I define the service principal, to only have a scope to the resource group as a contributor to that resource group, it will fail because it will not have access to the Key Vault, which is in a different resource group. JP is like, God damn, I need to be on the stream right now. You want to join me? You don't have to, I'm just saying. But sure. Let me see how I add you here. Let me see. Oh, you know what? I'm not set up for that. Yeah, we have OBS Ninja, but I don't have you set up. I don't have it set up. I don't have it set up for two people because I was messing around with my streams. You know what? I might be. Wait a minute. Okay, I will add one more for you. So, and then doing it live. And I'm adding a browser source. PS Ninja. Where did it go? Browser. Oh, I can see you. Right, let me see. Copy link. Look who it is. JP, can you hear me? I can hear you. Oh, well, welcome to the stream. There he is, the man himself. So I add a title just below your name so you don't feel left out. Can everybody hear you? I can see you, yeah. Oh, you can't hear JP. Do I need to add an audio for you, JP? Beyond the browser, do we need to add any audio? He's typing furiously. Yes, you should. No, only you. Okay. Okay. Under my face, I've done that, and then paste it, and done that, then that will make it even more fun. Wait, I've done that, didn't I? I went copy solo link, I've done that, good. Then paste into the new browser source, which I've done. You're here. In the control room, there's a button at the bottom to turn on audio. Oh. Why do I not see it? Copy solo link, blink, deafen guest. What the hell deafen mean? Oh. Enable the, okay, there you go. I think you're in. I wonder if now they can hear you. Yeah, I don't know. You see, is there another audio track there? I shouldn't see any audio tracks, should I? For it? Nope, still can't hear them. I can hear you fine, but people can hear you. Mm-hmm. I can hear you from OBS Ninja, I think. Yeah. But I think people on the stream can hear you. Oh, what? Oh. Shit, okay. Where's this? Give me a sec. Yeah, where do I set that? What? Oh shit, okay, I see it now. Can you hear me now? Hey, okay. But now the stream can't hear you yet. So what do I need to do now? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Control audio. Gotcha. And now browser. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. That should be working.
Yeah.
What about now, folks?
Be. Yeah. Okay. Nice.
Wow, nice.
Nice. Okay. Okay. That was a lot of work for me to say one thing. Wait a minute. Is this this is what all of our guests see whenever they're on the show? They just see their own faces. They don't see, I guess they'd see you because you're in the room too, but I've never been on this side of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all you see. That's all you see.
You just see your own face. Where's the fun in that? That's awful.
I know.
Well,
oh,
anyway,
you don't have your green screen, but it's fine. I think people are seeing your background for the first time.
Yeah, they're seeing my messy office.
Yeah.
If anybody would like a Pepsi or a Dr. Pepper, there are plenty to go around. Let me close my closet door.
I could use a drink. Where's my drink? Oh, it's right in front of me. I'm losing the plot, people.
Okay, I've got 30. I have 36 minutes before I have to go to bed because I have to get up early. So, okay, so here's what I was trying to say, right? So, like your ability to submit a deployment, like submitting a deployment just means I pick up the phone and call ARM and say, please go submit my template, right?
Yep.
And I'm going to say, hey, please do it on please deploy this resource or this template to this resource, the thing, the thing, right?
Yeah.
Your resource group.
Yeah.
So you need the right rights. You need the correct permissions on the resource group to do that part, right?
Yeah.
In order, like you need contributor or whatever, in
Yeah.
order to essentially edit the resource group. But in order to access the key vault, right, you're not accessing the key vault at deployment time. You're saying to ARM, hey, go and access the key vault when you hit it, right?
Yeah.
So that's what requires that enable key vault, enable ARM access, because ARM's going to be accessing it, but ARM isn't running under your context. Everything happens before ARM. It's like all those checks happen before ARM goes and actually executes the template. So
Right.
ARM needs permission to go and get your thing,
Okay.
to go get your key vault secret, because all it's got is a reference. It's just got this key in it. This a resource URI, right?
Yeah.
So that would mean, and according to the docs, you get that deploy permission, that RBAC permission for deploy on the key vault if you're an owner or if you're a contributor.
Okay.
But it's also possible that you could get that. Like, I don't know if like you were a contributor and now you're not. I don't know if that resource, I don't know if that goes away. You might still have that permission. I don't know. It'd be a good thing to find out.
So you mean remove the permission for, sorry, remove the contributor rights to the whole subscription and make it just for the resource group for that specific service principal?
Yeah, so the first thing is make the service principal just a contributor on your target resource group, not where the thing is, right?
Okay, let me sign in. I'm signing in as myself now because I did not have permission to do that before. Obviously, my service principal cannot change its own permissions. Come on, you can do it. You've logged in. Now let's find all the subscriptions you have access. Okay, okay. We barfed out a little bit. So I need to remove. What will that do? Role assignment delete. And then role assignment create for a scope.
Yep.
Create. And then
You
here,
could just do it in the portal too, but whatever floats your boat.
I like the hard work. Right, okay, so here I need to go into my that and then see that resource ID, which is just my resource group, which is what I did
Okay.
before, right?
All right. So now you'll be a contributor, which should give you the permission to submit the deployment, right? So you'll be able to say,
Yes.
ARM, please go and do my deployment, right?
Azure Assignee scope, what not like?
Oh, it needs a role.
Oh, yeah. Role inclusion.
Where's the autocomplete for that? Tab would be so easy for
I know.
that, for completion.
Okay, so now we have role definition here.
Okay, and it's on that scope on your specific resource group.
Yes.
Okay. So we have the right permission on the resource group to submit a deployment. Now let's
Yeah.
go look at your key vault and let's look at your key vault's role assignments. Because some of those role assignments don't actually show up in the portal. Look under IAM.
Access control, right?
Yeah.
Role assignments. There's gonna be a ton of them here.
That's okay.
I did not found.
It's like a wasteland of
Yes.
killed off service principals.
So it's not here.
Okay. So what was it called?
SP or CM.
CM deployment SP,
deployments,
something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So now it doesn't have any permissions there, and it has an access policy of. Did I remove it? Where is it? It's thinking about it.
Yeah, it was there.
Still has these two. So it has to get in a list. And my assumption
Okay, so-
was that at this point.
So hover over your little eye. Hover over the eye on the checkbox at the top.
Here?
At the very top. At the list of ARM specific rights. It's up even higher.
Where?
Scroll up.
Oh, okay. Here?
A little bit higher. There you go. Hover over that little eye there.
So it specifies whether Azure Resource Manager is permitted to retrieve secrets from the Key Vault.
Yep.
Is that a blank statement? Like all
that,
or nothing?
I'm pretty sure it is.
God, that's.
I'm gonna check one more time, but I am pretty sure. That is the thing that is causing your consternation. So and I think so. Historically, doing Key Vault deployments was like really weird because you had this weird permission set you had to have, and then these checkboxes appeared, which makes them much easier. Hang on a second. Azure Resource Manager for template deployment.
Hey, how's the stream on your end, by the way? Out of curiosity.
Looks fine. It's fine.
It does?
Yeah.
Mine is super blurry, so I always freak out that my resolution is not good. Okay.
I think I have mine set to 1080p manually, so that's why. So no, it looks fine. I mean, my office looks awful, and I look bloated. I must have had some salt today. This low sodium thing's killing me. Okay. Use Azure Key Vault in templates. Da 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 da. So, you must have. Okay. To enable the template to retrieve the secret, you must have an access policy called Enable Access to Azure Resource Management for template deployment in the Key Vault. This policy is enabled in the template. Hang on, let me check. So, as the user is deploying the virtual machine template, if you're not owner or contributor of the Key Vault, the owner or contributor must grant you access to the Key Vault deploy action. For more information, see blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, wait a minute. So, okay. I'm going to rescind some of what I said previously. I believe...
You made me question all my knowledge right now, so...
No, I think... I actually think your service principal doesn't need any permissions on that secret to submit that deployment. Because remember, you're submitting a deployment. Your ability to submit a deployment does not necessarily confer access to get or list a secret. Right?
Okay.
Like, your DevOps team may say, you need to reference secret ABC, but you, as the service principal, may never actually have access to it. So hang on a sec. So the user who deploys the template must have the deploy action permission for the scope of the resource group in Key Vault. Owner and contributor both grant that access. Blah, 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 blah. Custom role definition for deploy action. See, I still think... So, what's your current permission set?
So the current permission from a role perspective or from a policy perspective?
Okay, so your service principal has contributor on the resource group, right? And it has service principal, and it has Key Vault access policy.
Correct.
Okay, remove the Key Vault access policy.
Done.
Oh, wait, I'm seeing your screen a few seconds after you do it. So, Dan, do you have to deal with this every day if I don't share my screen with you?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm so sorry. You got to tell me these things.
8 months later. And about 65 streams.
You got to tell me these things.
See, I can see in the future because I will comment while you're doing things without even seeing them.
Okay.
Yeah,
because I don't think about it. I see my screen, so I don't think I need to share it in the thing. But obviously, and it doesn't really matter anyway. Point is, I mean, you could share your screen right now, Christos, if you wanted, but it's fine. Okay, so we don't have any. So the service principal has no Key Vault permissions, right?
Correct.
But it does have contributor on the resource group, right?
Yes.
Is your Key Vault reference in the template itself or in the parameters file?
It's in the parameters file.
Okay. So go submit your. Okay, so first, yeah, like wipe out your stuff, but go try to submit your deployment again.
So right now, I am logged in. I was logged in as myself, so I need to log in as the previous user.
Okay. I actually don't even think you need. I think that checkbox is enough unless you're deploying a VM. Because VMs, of course, are snowflakes.
Yeah.
But we're gonna confirm that. Right
Okay, so now we're signed in as that service principal, and that means that we should not have the right to deploy that.
Do an AZ account list just to make sure you don't have that old context in there.
Account list or account show?
Or show, whatever. Maybe I don't know which one it is.
Which account show is the one that's currently signed in.
Clear your stuff.
Clear
just
what
so
stuff?
that we don't. You've got like a dozen. There are like a dozen accounts in there.
Oh, how do you clear them?
I think it's AZ account clear. I think.
Oh, that would be fine if we had some stale sessions from other accounts.
Okay, do an AZ account. Do an AZ account list now.
Oh, it actually wiped out everything now. Okay.
Okay, good.
Signed
Okay,
out
so now
everything.
let's. Cool. All right, so let's log in.
Don't tell me. So it was like some stale access token I had to run stuff. Is that not comedy hour? You know, the 45 show after dark is always good.
That's okay. Damn it, I wish I had my soundboard. I have so many sounds queued up for this right now, and I can't use any of them. I'm so disappointed.
AZ deployment. Right, that's the thing. Right, so technically now.
Okay.
Oh, wait. We need to delete the resources just to make sure that it doesn't just do I found it, I'm not going to do anything.
Yeah, okay. So the service principal has no rights. It has no rights on the thing, right? On the Key Vault, and has no rights on the Key Vault's resource group or subscription, correct?
Correct.
It has one role assignment, and it's to this Bicep demo resource group, right?
Correct.
Okay, cool. All right. And your SQL things are always going to take a while to deploy because that's to deploy a server. Well, not a server.
Yeah, it is a VM behind the scenes, right? So people don't.
Well, it's like a service fabric actor. Mm-hmm. So so that's going to go, and then we're going to submit it again. Now, I have a suspicion you'll be able to do this deployment without that, but I could be wrong, and we could come back and you'll have to have that deploy.
There you
permission.
go. No, it failed.
Okay.
That's what I was expecting to see straight on.
Okay, good. So Key Vault parameter reference authorization failed. Now,
if I add it, it will work. Right. Let's go back to Key Vault.
Okay.
Because
so let's see if an access policy is good enough. Because I'm not actually convinced that it is.
I will bet my left.
Maybe it's both, but.
Well, I've done this demo in front of customers, so if things have changed or if I had it wrong, then man. CM deployment SP, that's the one. Right, GUID, and add and save. You know what? I think we were using some stale account there somehow. Ooh, shit.
So it's that deploy action. That's what you act. So your rights to do that deployment are not driven by your access policy, but rather driven by that specific permission, which you get with contributor or owner on the Key Vault resource. I would bet if we go look at your deployment history, I think we can see submitted by, and we'll see who submitted it.
We could, yeah. So I'm kicking this off. Ah, damn. So the access policy is not enough to allow us to.
And I'm pretty sure it's because this is like a pre-flight check. before, like, I mean, because ARM can access it. Like if you cleared that checkbox, ARM couldn't access it. But if that checkbox is there, ARM can access it. But because the ARM execution doesn't happen under your context, like the deployment queue does, you say put this in the queue, but the actual execution is done by ARM itself. So this is like a pre-flight check to see, are you,
So what do you want to see
do
here?
you have all the right stuff? See who, look under deployment details and see if we can see what principal submitted this deployment. I don't know if we'll be able to see it in the portal. We might have to look.
Operation details.
Do operation details, yeah. And the principal should be in there.
Service request ID, tracking ID, subscription resource, deployment correlation ID. No, it doesn't give us the operation.
Yeah, I think you have to.
You need to go into Custo.
Well, do a download and see what you get.
Download of the whole thing.
See if under deployment details you get that download button. I'm thinking about, like, because I know when you get the full deployment detail out of in Azure Monitor, I know it has the calling principal in there. So that's your template, right?
Yeah.
So
This one doesn't.
well, I don't think it's called principal. It has another. I don't know exactly what the field name is, but see, is this just your template? What's the other one?
The other file.
Mm-hmm.
It's deployment operations.json.
See if maybe that has it in there. Ah, here we go. Okay. Oh no, this is all it's given us, right?
Yep.
I know you can see it somewhere. You may have to go look in like API or whatever to go find it. You may be able to see it in like resource in the resources Azure Resource Explorer.
Okay.
Anyway, so in order for your service principal to be able to do it, your service principal's got to be in that deploy action role.
So what we're looking for here?
Look for your
Deployments.
look for your resource group and look in the deployment.
Okay, we're here.
And then-
That's the one. I think it's exactly the same. Oh.
Yeah, it looks like it might be. Yeah, I think it's just those two files. Yeah. Lame.
Target resource.
It's available. It's
Somewhere.
available somewhere.
Yeah.
Actually, it might be in the activity log for the resource group.
Ooh. Okay.
If we go look there.
Activity log is thinking about it. Might be quite a few. Oh, event initiated by. Validate deployment.
Okay. Well, those were the ones that just failed, right?
Yeah.
So those were the ones the three that we just tried.
Oh yeah, let's see the ones that failed. Oh, sorry, the ones that succeeded.
Yeah.
CM deployment, update.
Ah, event initiated by chmatsk.
Where? Oh.
Uh,
No, that was me doing a role assignment.
Oh, those were the the deletions. Okay, keep on
Delete
going.
SQL Server, that was me. Deploy if not exist. Yeah, these are all from the same service principal.
Scroll down some more.
Yep.
Open that up. Open one of those up. But you had permissions on there for a while, right? When it was working.
Yes. Oh wait, this one had when it was working, it had permissions to do on the full subscription.
Ah, okay. Oh, so it was still working. So we weren't in a separate context. It still had subscription permissions,
Yes.
which makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's fine. Okay. So your service principal, you can either make a single role assignment for that deploy action, or you can make it a contributor to the resource group. Or sorry, the contributor to the Key Vault.
But in any case, yes. But in any case, the policy does not define what it has access to. So as
That's
long as
true.
the contributor has access to everything in there, keys, secrets.
Well, I don't think that. So a contributor doesn't have an access policy by default, does it?
Nope.
I don't think it could. So you can be a contributor, but contributor allows you to set permissions on secrets. I mean, effectively, you could if you wanted to, right?
What I'm saying
So-
is that if we add it as a contributor here, so let me just go here. Control, role assignment. Sorry, add. role assignment. So we need to make it what? Contributor, Key Vault contributor? Or Key Vault secret reader, user?
No, I think it's just contributor.
It has to be contributor? Wow.
Or owner.
Damn.
Well, it doesn't have to be.
Okay.
At a minimum,
What's the minimum?
The bare minimum is Key Vault Vault's deploy action. So you have to create a custom role definition with just that action.
Okay.
In order to be able to do it. So here, let me send you.
Is that a PowerShell?
It's CLI, so close enough. Here, I'll send it to you in Teams. It's that specific part. So there are two things. There's the template itself, which just gives you that, and then there's the JSON or the CLI command to go and run it. You have to create the role definition, and then you create the assignment.
Oh, okay. Role assignment. And that's the custom definition?
That's the definition. And you would set your assignable scopes would be, your assignable scope could really be all the way down to the vault itself.
Nice. Okay. Should we do that?
Sure.
Oh, I need that file somewhere, don't I?
You may not even need the file. You may just be able to,
Paste it?
if you can pipe it in somehow.
Pipe JSON in there?
Yeah, somebody changed my Amazon Smile donation charity. Oh, it's to our.
That's not good.
It's to our school. You know, I agree, Sean. AWS IAM is completely baffling. I just, and then the worst part is the thing about it is like somebody says, yeah, okay, we need to get these IAM roles from our Azure AD tokens. Just like, oh my god, like I don't even know where to begin.
So here we're going to properties and we're gonna grab the full path
To the Key Vault.
Yeah. So assignable scopes will be that.
Yeah, like the doc says a subscription, but I don't think it says the user who deploys a template must have deploy action permission for the scope of the resource group in Key Vault, but I don't know why you would need it on the resource group. That doesn't make any sense.
Do we need
So,
to do it on the
that's okay.
subscription then?
No, just do it on the thing. We want the least possible privilege.
Exactly.
So let's just do it on the Key Vault. Let's see if that goes.
I'm just log in as myself now.
See you, Frank. I gotta go to bed too. I've got 12 minutes. I gotta go to bed because if I don't go to bed, I won't go to the gym, and then I'll be grumpy all day tomorrow.
Aww.
I guess that's not that different from every other day, but I try not to be.
My wife's gonna kill me. I said I'm gonna stream for an hour. It's like 2.5 hours later.
That's how it always. It's how it always works. But that's okay. We'll try our role definition. If the role definition doesn't work, I'm gonna go to bed. And we'll figure it out tomorrow.
Come on.
I'll look at it tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll definitely get it tomorrow. Grumpy or grumpier, says Code with Sean.
What are you trying to say, Sean?
I thought we're friends, Sean.
You know, I started worried about that. I'm like, wait a minute. Everybody thinks I'm so grumpy. Why do they think that? Like, am I doing something to make them think that? And then I end up feeling bad about it. It's like a guilty grumpy.
No,
It's
people are messing with you, right? So
maybe it's like a Catholic grumpy.
path to role definition. There should be dots. What is it? What did I name it? Key Vault role.json.
So how did you like Bicep? I didn't see the beginning.
It's. I mean, it's.
Is it cool?
What will it say here? A role definition cannot be updated with a name that already exists.
Okay, so maybe there's. Oh, this is in Corp, isn't it? I bet there is already one.
Oh, you think?
See if there's a. I bet you there is. Yeah. See if there's a Key Vault Resource Manager template deployment operator in our
AZ role definition list. Is it?
Just go back to the portal and see if you see it in that list.
Okay.
Because then you don't have to worry about
Because somebody
parsing
else
through.
was following the example and actually
I would bet so. That's what it seems like.
role assignment. Add a new one. Add role assignment.
Oh my god, I'm seeing everything. Like, I'm hearing you narrate it and then seeing it a couple seconds later. It's so funny. So it's called Key Vault, Key Vault role, or what was it called? Key Vault deployment. See if you can just type it in and it'll work.
No, you know what? It's not there. Oh, I might not even be able to create on the corp, right?
Well, I mean, it's for your subscription, though.
True.
Or just give it a different name and run
I'll
it
do a
again.
different name.
Problem solved.
Key Vault CM. Oh, you know what? Key Vault CM Resource Manager. So I can find it easily. That will show you. Let me save it.
Somebody's gonna see this years from now and be like, CM. What does that mean? We don't want to delete it though because it might break something.
But you know what? I'm not the only one that uses CM, which really upsets me.
Why? Who else uses it?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Who else dares to use it? That's mine. Okay, so we have that one. And
All
I
right.
need to go back into.
So now you just have to-
Assignment create. Doesn't it to
And
match the
make sure-
name?
Yeah.
Oh God.
We just have to add CM to it. It's no big deal.
True. Azure assignment create. I've never used the piping before. Maybe I should start using it. So if I do this, no, didn't like it.
You gotta.
I gotta do what?
You gotta. Did you change the name to CM or whatever?
That's what I'm doing
I
now.
can't see because my head is in front of it.
Oh, is it? Okay. I'm doing that now. Just making sure that I have the right name. CM.
Key Vault CM.
CM. My screen is flickering and it's driving me nuts now. Assign.
Why is it flickering?
I don't know. Something like a loose cable or somebody knocked something out. Just grab the. Man, this is slow. And then resource group. How was your evening, by the way? Up until this point, I mean.
My evening?
Yeah.
I guess I don't know who else you'd be talking to. It was fine. I mean, I had some fajitas for dinner, which were delicious.
You had what?
Fajitas.
Oh, fajitas. Nice.
Dude, I'm telling you, so a flour tortilla has like hundreds of milligrams of sodium, but a corn tortilla does not. A corn tortilla has like 15 milligrams per
Yeah.
tortilla.
It's so much better.
And so I had that with like chicken, like Kristen grilled some chicken, rice and beans and stuff, and it was pretty good.
See, didn't like the what did I do here? Key Vault CM resource.
Yeah, like this, our role assignment stuff for RBAC is such a like, it's just, I mean, I get why it's like this, but like, honestly, this should be one step, right?
Yep.
Yes, Sean, we have fantastic weather. Yesterday, it was sunny. It was in the 60s, upper 60s. My wife took the kids to the playground. They had a great time. Today it was sunny. It was like, it's in the 70s. It's supposed to be nice again tomorrow. And then it's going to rain like Friday through Tuesday or something and be cold again, which is lame as shit. So,
Well, you guys had 73 degrees today, right? That was stunning.
yeah, it was awesome. And it was so beautiful outside. Where are you, Sean? You're in, Nebraska, right? Sean? I don't remember. I think it was Nebraska.
So we were able to deploy the resource, which is super stupid. Role name, Key Vault CM Resource Manager template operator. And then I try to add the assignment, and it says it does not exist. Oh, you know what?
Yes.
Is it because we did it at the...
Where's Tulsa? Is that in Oklahoma? It's in Oklahoma, not Nebraska. Sorry. Oklahoma.
Is it because we did it at the assignable scope, which the scope is...
The key vault itself?
yeah.
Well, but isn't that where you're assigning the role definition?
Also, it says assignable scope, only key vault, which makes sense, yeah. And then
Yeah. So
the right
in your in your resource, I can't. Can you move your terminal up and to the left a little bit? Because I can't see what. Okay, yeah, perfect. Now it does not. My head isn't covering it. So what is the command you're running? What's the resource? Or sorry, what's the
AZ role assignment create role blah assignee blah resource group blah.
Do it. See if you can change the scope instead of resource group. Change the scope to be the key vault the key vault resource ID.
Oh, can you do that?
Yeah, I should be able to. I don't think you need a resource group in that case.
So just that?
Oh no. I'm pretty sure you need a scope here. AZ. Let me check.
Oh, it says the role key vault CM is not available for assignment at the requested scope. Okay. So what does the?
I think it's just scope. The key vault.
Oh, scope. Okay, gotcha.
Yep. So let's see. Let's see. Today we had a high of. Let me see here. What was our high today? Today we hit 74.1.
Damn.
We woke up and it was 32. It was 74.1 today. I'll take it.
Liftoff. We're there.
Okay,
right.
good.
We
Okay.
added that.
All right. So kick off your deployment again. Let's see what we get.
Wait a minute. I'm logged in as myself now.
Oh yeah, you got to do that. Clear your accounts and log in again.
Luckily, it's just around the corner. Deployment. Wait, do we need to check anything in Key Vault right now? So in Key Vault, just to double check. Wrong.
We should see the role. I think we'll see the role assignment in there
We
now.
should see the role assignment. Role assignments. There you go. CM Key Vault CM Resource Manager Template Deployment Operator.
Cool. All right.
Okay. Now, do we need any access policies? No.
Nope, just that.
Do we have access policies for that? Come on.
I think we took them out, didn't
We
we?
deleted it, but just to double check. Oh no, we did not delete them.
All right, let's bounce those. I think you have to hit save. I always forget to hit save, and then I spend an hour.
Yeah.
Then spend an hour like, why is my key vault not working? I think we ought to skip key vault. Let's just use Route 53 as our secret database. It's distributed around the world.
Everyone has it on their own machines.
I've been reading too much Corey Quinn, I guess. Although, honestly, one afternoon, I want to build a database with Route 53 or Azure DNS. We can use either one.
Azure DNS.
Although, I've used Route 53 for almost 10 years now, and I have to say, it's not bad. It's pretty good.
Never used it. I have no idea what it is.
It's Amazon's DNS service.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Route 53, DNS port 53.
I thought you said Route 32.
So it worked. Because the other ones were failing almost immediately, right? And we don't have to wait 10 minutes for your SQL to deploy. Let's go see if your deployment got submitted. If we look at the activity log of your resource group, we'll see what's shaking.
It's deploying. It's happening.
Nice.
Oh man, I've been living a lie. I've been living a lie.
It's okay.
I wonder if we need to change. I need to change my Azure Key Vault demo for the Azure DevOps.
I know, Sean. Like until we get CNAME Apex support, A names or whatever they're calling them in Azure DNS, I just can't use it. I mean, I just end up using Cloudflare or Route 53. It's so frustrating the lack of. There was years ago. I worked at a place we built cloud software. So we built like apps for Office 365, and then we would sell you Office and the apps together. And of course, you get billed twice because there was no CSP program or anything like that. But one of the things that we sold, we called it was because it's the naked domain problem. So we called it Get Naked, and it would go out and in a region, it would go and ping your resources, figure out their IP address, and then set an A record to point to it, so that you could have the sort of Zone Apex-esque, an A name essentially. And it was a ton of fun. And the guy that we built it for, he was just so disgusted by the name. He didn't like the name, Get Naked. I thought it was a great name. In fact, I wonder if we still own that domain. Don't go to it or anything. I'm going to go look at who is first. But I seem to remember.
Liftoff. Everything has been deployed.
Nice. So you need so I mean it's pretty cool, right? Because your service principal doesn't actually need access to anything. It doesn't need access to the secret itself. So your ops folks can say, "Hey, here's your secret ID. Go put this in your template." And, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's awesome.
Yeah, we learned something today, and I banged my head on the wall with our friends here for about half an hour before you joined.
That's okay. That's why we're here.
Yeah, I need to revisit some of the demos that we've done before because I was under the very different impression.
Cool.
Or maybe the other ones are working as expected, though, right? I think maybe Azure DevOps does it the right thing, and I know that, I think that GitHub Actions needs the right permissions to operate, but maybe we need to be more clear about exactly what's happening here.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably. My guess is that what I've seen, at least in a lot of demos, is that the key vault's in the same resource group, for example, or the service principal has contributor on the subscription, or one of those things where you wouldn't know that was what was happening unless you hit it before.
Yeah. Nice.
So, cool.
Yeah.
Well, hey, that's awesome.
Blog post to follow, but I didn't show you the actual Bicep stuff because you.
Yeah, let me see the Bicep thing.
So the Bicep is here. Let me close this one. You have the parameters at the top. It's almost like a code with JSON mixed together. So you have code here. There are functions that are built in. Yeah, I can see your face. Like, ugh.
I mean, it's a. Can I put comments in it?
You can put comments in it. You can do this.
Okay, then I'm okay with it.
It needs to be unique.
Okay, cool. No, that's cool.
And
I just
that, and then I mean the documentation is quite thin for in general what you can achieve, but there is this amazing playground which we found. Bicep playground. So if you want to build something, you say sample template, and you say I want to do Linux, and then it comes up with the VM simple Linux. And check this out. It gives you the Bicep and it gives you the decompiled one. Or the compiled one.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
That is cool. Because I was like, how the hell do I build Sql? I was wondering. And I think it's pulling this information from the Azure 101 samples for ARM. And then it does the reverse to decompile to Bicep. And then it shows you the raw ARM template.
Nice.
It is nice.
That's cool. I mean,
size-wise, it doesn't seem that it saves a lot of stuff. Like it's still the same, right? So what is happening? 190 lines here and then 228 lines. So technically you saved 20 lines, 30 lines of code.
I mean, that's okay though. I would imagine it'll only get better. ARM is what it is, but Bicep can always be better. So at least there's that, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, man. Thanks for jumping in on this stream. That was interesting.
Yeah, man. I didn't want to. I turned it on because I just put the kids to bed, and I thought, what's going on?
She's still there. What is she doing?
Well, the thing is, so after you and I talked earlier when we had our meeting, I came upstairs to eat dinner, and about 5 minutes later, my phone buzzed and said 45 show is live, and I was like, oh, cool. And so I said Bicep. I was like, okay, so Christos is doing the thing he said he was going to do.
Yep.
But I was eating and we put the kids to bed and baths and all that stuff, so I didn't get a chance to turn it on until
Later.
like after everybody was in bed. I turned it on, and I was like, oh, what's going on? And then you had that look of like something's not working exactly the way it's supposed to.
I totally approached this one with a growth mindset. Like I was like, it's gonna fail. I'm gonna learn today. But at the same time, I was totally dumbfounded by the fact that I thought that this should be working. It should be working in a certain way, which was, the access policies to the Key Vault, and then it was working regardless of what the policies were. Like doesn't make any sense.
It's the mysteries of life.
So Azure Identity, the SDK, does require these permissions. So it needs to have an access policy. So if you are using a managed identity, that managed identity needs it. But it's very different to ARM, right? So
because it's like it's making an API call and not doing like a deployment, right? It's like modifying something directly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so the key here was the documentation that we found here, which is granting access to the secrets. And I think this.
Yeah.
So is this one? This one lets you deploy assignable scopes, but is it only locking to? This is not locking to secrets. It's locking to.
Well, all it's doing is giving you the deployment action, which is essentially saying when RBAC does its pre-flight to see can you submit this deployment, it's saying this principal has the deploy action or greater role on the Key Vault, so that principal can give me ARM a deployment to do that accesses that secret.
So the nice thing with this one is that service principal will not have any other permissions other than deploy, i.e. access, to pull them at deployment time. Nothing else. It can't deploy.
No access.
Yeah.
Can't read them, can't set them, can't change them, can't even know what they are. All it has is a resource ID.
Nice.
So your ops folks could truly be away, could keep you as a developer, as like an ops person or whatever. Like the admin of that secret can be wholly separate from the person or principal who's doing that deployment.
Yep. Time to
and
update
you can still access it.
Yeah. Oh, weird that Christos is only in left ear and volume is lower than JP. What? No. Why?
Well, I can listen to the main thing, and I hear you kind of like.
Go on.
It's like 70% in the left ear.
Do I need to change the? Why? That's so.
I don't know.
Is my Yeti broken?
Is it like moved? Are you sitting in a different place at your desk than normal?
No. Locked in the exact same place. I'm always there. I don't know if there's any advanced filters, advanced audio properties. Desktop audio, no, that's me. Yeti, I am Yeti. It's totally balanced here. Oh, by the way, man, I had set up my desktop audio. It's fine. I had my soundboard, but I forgot I removed all my sounds. Okay, so I don't know why it's coming out like that. It's weird. You know what? It's the first time I streamed like this, or second time with somebody else. So I'll refine it and get back to you. Thanks for the feedback. I'm a noob to streaming on my end. It's usually JP doing all the hard work.
It's not hard work. It's just work. And I have so many sounds that I wish I could use and I can't. So.
Yeah, see how I feel every time you play the soundboard and I can't do it on my end? And there's no way to feed the soundboard into the same output source. So.
Thank you. That's why I've got a tool that the only tool everybody said to use was Voice Meter, and it's not good, better, best. It's voice meter, banana, and voice meter, potato.
Okay.
So.
Yes, thank you, son, for not muting us today.
Well, luckily the muting doesn't work because I've got a tool that has to run locally that does it.
Oh, that's a good point.
So you could mute them all day.
So you would have lost all your points without muting me. Ha.
Yeah, it would have been it would have been an unproductive mute. So
True.
Well, cool. Well, hey, I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, let's go to bed, man. Thanks, everyone. See you soon. Bye.
See ya. Bye.
Oh, I'm gonna raid someone. Should we raid someone?
Oh, that's a good idea for sure. Who's up? Tail learn code.
Yeah, let me see. I need
6-figure dev. See you, Sean. See you, Hector.
I need to be signed in with my 45 show account, isn't it? To raid.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because I am not. So let me see. Yes,
hang on. Let me see. Can I do it from here?
Let me see. I can do raid channel, and then
there you go.
Yeah, tail learn code. Should we go there?
Sure.
Or 6-figure dev. Okay, let's go tail learn code. Start the raids with 3 viewers, 4 viewers.
It's okay. It's late.
It is late. Thanks, everyone. Done.
Nice. Well, I guess we're gone.
We're done. Nice. Thanks, man.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, I didn't want to steal your thunder, but
Oh, you didn't steal thunder. You came in and helped at the right time because I was totally confused there. God, man. I feel stupid now. Anyway.
I'm glad. No, I mean, it's completely opaque. How would anybody know that unless you've gone and looked at I only knew it was there because I beat my head against the wall doing this years ago. Like, it's just, that's Azure in a nutshell is, hey, here's the intuitive thing. And then we're going to do the opposite.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's just one of those super opaque things.